Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
All right. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hey, Blake, are you there?
Oh, I got you now.
There you go, buddy. Man, we just had a major malfunction here. Everything in the studio went down. The computer screens went black. We were live. We've been live since 5:30, and all of a sudden, just completely went out. But they're starting to get
Oh
back
man.
on here and everything. So everything's good. So why don't you let me do a quick commercial for a minute, give everybody a chance to get back on, and we'll go ahead and get right back to you, okay? So just hang on there for just a second, all right, man?
All good.
I
I'm
apologize,
actually.
Blake. I do apologize.
It's all good.
All right, bro.
I'm good.
Love nuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design. A small design and marketing company, big on personalized release. They work closely with you to get your business noticed, with graphics that stand out and grab attention. 6ix9ine Graphics and Design specializes in stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, so business marketing. They also offer logo design, brochure signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6ix9ine Graphics and Design. Visit 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design.
Hey, lug nuts, need a pick-me-up to start your day. There's a place in Parker that'll get you going. Rise and Grind Coffee has bold espresso, strong coffee, smooth lattes, plus chai teas and cold. Smoothies, regular or decaf, whatever you're in the mood for. Hungry, grab a hot breakfast burrito or a fresh muffin, quick, simple, and ready to roll. Got something coming up, any event or party you're planning, they've got a portable coffee cart that brings the coffee right to you. Fresh drinks served on site. Local spot, good coffee, good people. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day, one cup at a time.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back, and people are starting to get on right now. We already have Blake Sherman on the phone. Once again, Blake, I don't know, man. Every once in a while, this studio's a little possessed or something, man. We have widgets in the house, and it does weird stuff, but we're back and we're ready to go, man. So
I'm ready. I'm ready.
thanks for putting up with us, man. But dude, I'll tell you what. You know, I have known you since the day you were born, man, and you have come so far. I remember going and watching you in auction school and stuff like that. But man, you have made such a name already for yourself that it's just amazing. What do you think attributes to that? Do you think it's just because the Sherman name and all the practice and all that, or what do you think it is?
Dude, I got a really good team behind me. It's
Oh,
not just me, it's really just a team thing. And I've I got some of the best teachers in the world. Man, dude, it's all coming together just a little bit.
what's it feel like, man, to, I mean, so how long have you really been auctioneering? I know you've been ringing for a while, but how long have you been an actual auctioneer now? How many years?
So it's technically, so I went to auction school in 2019.
Uh huh.
Right after I graduated from high school, I was like, okay, let's start picking it up because I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Right.
Like I was like, I know I'm not going to college, so
Right.
I got to figure out if this auctioneering thing is really for me. I went to auction school 2019, but I was still ringing. I just like I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. Then it's been 3 years that I've steadily just started just putting my head down and really tried auctioneering because I was ringing everywhere,
Right.
but I didn't pick up a mic because I was just so scared that I couldn't live up to the Sherman name
That's a
to
bit.
let somebody down or like
That's a big
these
name.
yeah, it's
People don't understand how big that name really is, man.
it is definitely a blessing for sure. It's helped me out a lot.
Yeah, man, it is. But you know, I know you've had other help and stuff like that. I know that you got like people like Shane Ratliff behind you and many more big name auctioneers. And Blake, starting out this young, hello Robert French, Derek Murphy, Bridge Deviney, but just starting out in the career and having such powerhouses backing you and coaching you along the way is just totally amazing, man. I mean, it's game changer. It really is.
It blows my mind that someone like Shane and Joseph Mass
Yeah.
and my dad and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Scott Goodhue, big names that people really believed in me when I was just terrible. I couldn't go $1 now too. And these and all these guys just know and they see the passion that I have because I love it. I love it. I'm so passionate about being an auctioneer, being in the industry. I love it because I can't play an instrument and it's the closest thing I can do to being a rock star.
Right, right. I hear you. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Golly.
So you're in Dallas full time now. You're living in Dallas.
I'm in Dallas full time. It's the best central hub that I could be. I was going from Lubbock to Dallas for the first 7 years until last it's almost been a year now that I've fully located to Dallas because I was driving. I was it was damn near close to 2,000 miles a week just driving the auction circuit.
Now, Blake, you're breaking the Sherman bloodline because the Shermans have drove to auctions for miles and miles for many years, man. So but that's cool, man. I mean, how many sales you got in Dallas right now?
I have 5 sales in Dallas. I work
Wow.
two or one on Wednesday or one Tuesday, two on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and then Friday I'm in between. I'm going from Abilene and Dallas. I'm trying to figure all that out, but mostly uh I only have to travel about once a week just to Abilene. That's not too bad.
And that's an easy drive, really, man. What is it? 4 hours, maybe 3 hours?
No, it's 2 hours
Oh,
straight
wow.
from Dallas. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. I like it.
Well, dude, I tell you what, man. I can remember, of course, when we worked with Papa and your dad here up in here in Denver, man. And I can remember every time that you guys were getting ready to born, whether it was your sisters or you or whatever, man. Your dad was nervous and stuff, but he was such a proud man. And when he was going to have a boy, I mean, he was strutting that stuff, boy, up here, man. He was like, yeah. I mean, he loves them girls. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's much love there, but he was having a boy, and that's all he talked about. Is he's going to be an auctioneer. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. And I remember the belt buckle we all chipped in and got you. You still got that buckle to the day?
Oh, dude, it's on my mom and dad's mantle. It's like a trophy.
Oh well, and I think does it say world champion on it, or what does
It
it say?
does. I think it says future world champion
Yeah.
auctioneer Joe Blake Sherman.
Well, see, dude, you got all these uncles up here that believe in you so much, man, and it's for a young man. You got a lot of pressure on you, bro. You got a lot of people that are wanting you to succeed, and they're getting to watch and ride on this train with you, man. That is just your career, and it's so fun to watch you. It really is, man.
And I appreciate it. Oh gosh.
And now you're getting married,
I am, dude. I
dude.
am. I got a smoking. Shout out Ava. She's over there. She's we just got home from Houston,
Oh,
but
did
I
ya?
have a smoking hot trophy fiance.
I bet you she's going to keep you in shape too, son. She'll make
Oh, I'm
sure that
telling
you
you.
you don't you walk the walk and talk the talk for sure, man.
That's why I'm marrying her, bro. I was like, okay.
Well,
This one could hold me down.
yeah, the secret to success is a good woman behind a man, for sure.
For
And I
sure.
know that you wouldn't have asked her to be your bride if she wasn't the right one, for sure.
Right on. Yeah,
So,
dude. We're getting married next year. So we went to so we're getting married in Charleston, South Carolina.
uh-huh.
I don't know why we're getting married there, but because she's from North Houston and I'm from Lubbock, we have nothing to do anything with Charleston, South Carolina. But we went up there to go tour some venues, and the venue people were like, "Where y'all been?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Man, these things have been booked out for all of 2027. Y'all got y'all are here late." And I'm like, "2027?" So
Wow.
we're getting married June of 2027. So we got a year and a couple months.
But it'll be here before you know it, man.
I hope so.
It will be, man, for sure. But Blake, who do you owe? I mean, besides the guys we talked about, who's the biggest influence in your life? And if that person is listening or they're not listening, what would you tell them?
No doubt, 100%. Like it is no doubter. My dad.
Yeah.
My dad. That's my hero, my superstar. I watch, and he just he's really stepped up my game,
Uh huh.
and us being together, we sell side by side, and we really push each other. 'Cause he's a world champion. And I'm telling you, like he's a world champion. He's got all the credentials. He's got all the titles, and it just really pushes me because I want to be that. I want to be him. I look up to him, and he pushes me, and man, dude, I'm telling you, that's the guy that you want to go be around. You want to hear that. You want to be a sponge and soak up all the chants, and you pick in part. But I owe everything to my dad, and uh, I don't know if he's listening, but I learned how to navigate and how to do auctions from Trinity Crow Turbo.
Uh huh.
Turbo, he's from down by Austin,
Uh
and
huh.
when I was when I was first getting into it and I was ringing, he put me up right next to him, and that man can navigate and learn how the auctions go and flow. And man, I owe a lot to him. Uh, man, going back to Barrett Jackson auctions, Joseph Mass, that head auctioneer for there, he believed in me, dude. So, all right, I'm going back to 2020. All right, I was 21, and I went to the World Champion Auctioneer event,
Right.
and I was ringing. And it was first time competing. I see this guy watching me, and he and I'm like, who is this dude? I have no idea. And he was like, "Hey, you want to come work for us?" And I was like, "Dude," and I'm telling you, I would drive anywhere in the world just to go work. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, what's your name? Who are you? And he's like, "Oh, we're Barrett Jackson." And I was like, "Oh, that's
We're
who
the
you are."
Cadillac. We're the Cadillac or the Ferrari.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming to work for you."
Yeah.
And he he said, "All right, it was in Vegas was my first sale, and that was kind of like a tryout, and that one was good. But Houston, 3 months later, he was like, can you sell? Can you do anything?" And I'm telling you, I lied my ass off. I was like, "Hell yeah, I can sell. I'm your guy, man." And I couldn't go $1 now too.
Right.
I had somebody take a picture of me with a microphone. I couldn't, like, I straight up lied to this man. And so he's like, "All right, you're hired." And then I show up, I get there. This is in 2021, and they do the automobilia before the sales.
Yeah.
And I'm standing up there just like kind of watching how everything's working, like see how it all flows. And then he's like, "All right, you ready?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You're up, old son. Like, get ready." And he puts that microphone in my hand, and I look and I see Shane right next to me. And I literally just got back from uh, the advanced big calling class,
Right.
and Shane kind of taught me a little bit there. And I'm sitting right next to Shane Ratliff, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude."
This lie's caught up with me.
Oh, and I'm like, "Oh no, dude." And I think I did two lots or something. And he was like, all right, scoot over, get down, let Shane have it back." And I was like, "Oh, dude." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And he was like, "All right, just just keep at it. We'll figure it out some other time." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." But Joseph has always believed in me. And that's another one of my like idols, superstar. Him, Shane, Trey Morris, another guy from Kentucky. I'm telling you, these guys can get down, and I just sit there. Billy Payton from Ohio. I sit there and pick apart every piece of their chant, and
Right.
I've just made it into what I have today.
Well, dude, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you what, man. I watched your run at Barrett Jackson, and we're getting a little ahead of the program, but that's okay, man, because
Yeah.
we can go all over the board, man, because I happen to know the guy that owns the show. But anyway, uh, I watched you run on the Cadillac, man.
Oh my lord.
My God, this is like your debut for doing the big auction. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
being live. I mean, you're live on TV. You're in front of everybody. It's showtime. It's showtime, and you're ready. And I could see you were ready. But dude, you set a record on an old
I set a
Cadillac.
world record.
Yeah, on an old Cadillac that on a good day your daddy could probably get 7 grand for.
I'm telling you, dude, this thing. Oh my gosh. And I got a plaque. I'm sitting here right now. Craig Meyer made me a plaque. It's a world record. It's got Fleetwood Broham. Oh my gosh. So
Oh, and it did how much? I keep telling people, but I want to hear the exact number from you.
94,000. This thing wasn't worth 9,400.
Only a
I'm
Sherman.
telling
Only a
you.
Sherman could do that, my brother. Only a Sherman.
uh, I'm telling you, I wanted to throw the microphone down and quit right there because the next lot brings 2,500.
Right. But you
I'm
know
like,
what?
"Oh my."
You set a precedence, man. You introduced the world to Blake Sherman and what you're capable of doing. It doesn't matter what that second car did because that second car is going to do whatever it did. But
Right.
I mean, you talked the Cadillac. You walked the Cadillac. You petted the Cadillac. You done everything that you could do to make that car the featured car of the moment, and it was just jaw dropping, man. I was like,
um,
it looked like you were up there, a seasoned veteran with 20 years under your belt, man. I mean, you just knocked it out of the park. I was so
it is.
proud.
Oh man, thank you. It was all, dude, I'm telling you, a big part of this is about timing and like being
Sure.
there at the right spot.
Right.
So it was that morning. So about a year ago, last April, yeah. I started selling automobilia. I was selling automobilia in the mornings, and then this past January, uh, it's the Monday, so it's the first day of the sale,
Right.
and I get off of automobilia, and Joseph will come out and all the cars that are for the day, he'll
Uh-huh.
lay out a 30-minute timesheet. And I look, and on the second time slot, the second 30 minutes of the sale, it has my name. And I'm like, what? You're playing with me. And he was like, nope, get ready. You're selling cars today. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I had no idea. I had no idea what was going to happen. And I get up there with my first chance to sell cars, and I set a world record, and I could not believe it, dude.
So what went through your mind when this Cadillac is rolling up on the auction block and it's your very first one? I mean, what went through your mind? Were you like going, "Oh wow, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna. It's a pretty car. Don't get me wrong, but it's an old Cadillac Brougham, and it ain't gonna bring nothing, you know."
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I legit I was like, man, I kind of got handed like not the best of cars, you know? Like it's
Right,
not, Ford GT. Like I'm not out here looking pretty, like counting $1 million and stuff. Like I ain't. And then all of a sudden it just starts popping off. And I'm like, oh, dude. And I see hands flying in the air. I hear people just screaming and yelling. And Joseph's sitting there, and they in the right seat. If you watch on TV, the right seat helps me navigate because there's so much going on.
right,
If you ever been to one of those sales, there's so much. There's people with whistles and rags in the back because it's so far away out in the VIP muscle ass. It's so far away you can't even see him.
right.
So you have the right seat. I have Joseph tell me where to go, where the money is, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just counting. I'm just counting. And it gets all the way up to like 60 grand or something. And it kind of slows down a little bit. Kind of slows down. I think all the money's about it. And then Kurt Becker, amazing. He's famous announcer for horses. And he goes, and this thing's got a fresh oil change. And I go, all right, 65, 70. And then it gets all the way up to 85. And I said, just give me 100. And he goes, I'll give you 93,000.
Wow.
And I go, okay, sounds good. 93,000. And I just knew and I could feel the crowd pulsing, everybody's lights and they're going nuts. And I'm getting ready to sell this thing. And on the block, like wherever you slam the gavel on that little thing, there's a microphone underneath it that
Uh-huh.
makes this thing just boom, just. And so I get ready and I smash that thing. It's sold. And this thing is, and oh my gosh, I don't think there could be a moment that could. I think that's the greatest moment of my entire life so far.
Right. Well, dude, I would have to say so because number one, you're at the elitist, the most elite car sale there is right now, hands down. And I don't care what anybody says. There's other high end car sales in the country, but if you're in Barrett Jackson and you're selling at Barrett Jackson, you're doing a pretty damn good job, man. And
It is an honor. It is
it
an
is.
honor.
That's you said it so perfectly. It is an honor to be asked to sell at a Barrett Jackson sale, man. I mean, it's a dream for any auctioneer. It really
It
is.
is the Super Bowl. It is the Super Bowl of auctions.
Yeah.
If anybody has a chance to go to one, please do and hit me up because I would love for you to come see it. If anybody out there listening.
Oh man, there's quite a few people on here now. They all got back in here and stuff. But you're so right, man. It is. I went to the one year down in Phoenix, and I mean, I seen a guy buy a Ferrari GTO, and then it was at the polo field there, and I
Mm.
watched him take the GTO out on the polo field and do donuts and stuff, and it was this high dollar car. I'm just like, dude, you got more. He had more gold on than than anybody I ever seen in my
Eh,
life. Big money. You could just tell he was big money, and That's just the type of
Huge
people
fan.
that are there.
When somebody came up to me and I'm turning them in at $1 million, then somebody comes in at 1.1 million and he goes, "Oh, I only brought 1 million cash." What? You only brought 1 million cash?
Yeah.
He goes, "Sorry, brother."
Sorry, that's all I got to play with today.
Uh-huh.
And then here we're selling regular car sales where a $90,000 truck is probably the highest one we're going to sell that day, unless you're doing a sale down in Dallas where there's bigger number of cars. But I mean, it's crazy that the kind of money that's really there. I mean, I watched. I'm a big watcher of car shows on TV, and
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Hart had a show called Kevin Hart's Plastic Cup Boys or something like that, and I was watching, and they had an episode where he was at Barrett Jackson, and he bought a Corvette down there, and it brought like 800 and some $1,000, but it's just amazing to watch how many big numbers are selling at that sale. Am I right?
It is unbelievable. From Wednesday night to Saturday night, it
Oh,
is high number of cars. Like at one point on Saturdays, if every car maybe after the first hour isn't over 100,000, it's like, damn, what are we doing, boys? We got to get these numbers up.
right.
But I'm telling you, there's that prime time TV from about 3 to 5:30. I'm telling you, every single one is over a 500,000 or 1 million. Oh, it's some nutty stuff. How much? And it's like, it's some crazy rides, like Porsches to the Ford GTs or VIN number one cars.
Right.
VIN number one Corvettes always come through.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. You don't realize how many of those cars are out there, and who's got them and stuff. But yeah, that you see a lot of number one cars. Plus, I mean, at that one that I was at, they even had airplanes there for sale. I mean,
The,
it's crazy. I mean, what they got.
they find stuff all over. I think they sold last year. I think we sold Elvis's airplane.
Wow.
His whole airplane that was sitting out in somewhere for like 30 years, and they found the
Oh,
airplane and they sold it last year.
I seen the not the advertisement of it being sold, but I seen when they found it, kind of a copperish colored looking one.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
rusted over or
Yeah, well,
something. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
was crazy, but he had two of those planes. One of them is at Memphis at Graceland, and it's you can walk into it and check it out and see what it's really like. But yeah, man, I mean, the king of rock and roll. You're selling stuff for him and stuff, and then plus the celebrities that you see in the audience, man, is just
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Uh, Dude, I've had some crazy. I'm standing up. Everybody would probably like this one. I'm standing up there on stage and I'm looking over the crowd, and there's thousands of people there. Thousands of people. And I'm just sitting there just looking, scanning everything. And all of a sudden I see, oh my God, that's Drew Brees. He's just standing right underneath me, just watching cars. And I'm like, what's up, brother?
Yeah,
Like,
no
like
joke.
this is like he nothing, no security, no nothing. Like just a normal guy in the crowd, just Drew Brees. What's
Yeah,
up, man?
dude.
Crazy experience. It's a definitely a celebrity. Like if you're into cars, definitely like celebrities, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there.
And there's guys that build cars just for Barrett Jackson. I mean, they don't build them for any other sale. They might work on a year long project, and it's just for a Barrett Jackson sale. And man, it's top of the line. I mean, it's million
Top
dollar
of the line.
million dollar plus
Yes.
build.
I have a good buddy. He's 25. His name's Nate Maltry from somewhere around Scottsdale, somewhere around there. But that's he builds one car a year, and that's his job.
Uh
He
huh.
builds a car, takes it to Barrett, uh, and he runs a little shop, and that's what he does for the entire year. He sells one car in Scottsdale, and then for the rest of the year, that's his dough.
Yeah. Now, Scottsdale is probably the premier Barrett Jackson sale. Is that true?
Scottsdale is the one.
Right.
January Scottsdale.
Uh huh.
That's the one to be at. That one is 7 days long, and it is the real deal. You
Now,
can't you can't get any better.
are you there for 7 days? I mean, do you take time off your regular auctions, or do you fly in later in the week, or what's the scheduling like on something like that when you work for Barrett Jackson?
So it's every 3 months. So at that thing, I would take off from my regular Dallas sales
Uh
to
huh.
go sell. I'll fly in Sunday night, Monday morning, selling tack. Start 8 a.m. till 8 o'clock at night, and
Wow.
it's a long week. I'm telling you, it'll get after you.
Right. Yeah.
It's a long week. It's Sunday night to Sunday night, and we're just rocking and rolling selling cars.
It's amazing how many cars are out there. I mean, in this world that I mean, you guys are doing. How many Barrett Jackson sales are there in the United States right now? What do they do? Four a year, three a year? What is it?
Now this year, this upcoming year, it's going to be 4 a year.
Okay.
It's we switched around our schedule a little bit. In June, we're going to Columbus, Ohio,
Uh huh.
and then I think September they're bringing back the Vegas sale. We quit it about 2 years ago,
Right.
and they're bringing back the Vegas sale, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be that'll be a good one, especially since it's just coming back into Vegas and stuff like that. So, what do you do to prepare yourself for a Sunday to Sunday auctioneering that many hours? And I mean, I know you're not auctioneering that whole time, but you got to be on your game and ready to go at any time, correct?
Oh yeah. No, you stand or especially me. I since I'm the new guy pretty much. I
Right,
stand and I'm attentive and I'm ready to go. I'm the Swiss Army knife. I'm the guy that just get ready and be ready all the time. I'm standing there and a week before, I try to be good about it because if you're sitting there and you think about it, like your voice and you're trying to take care of yourself a little bit.
yes.
So I'm drinking water. I'm drinking coconut water. I'm getting ready. I'm sleeping good, and then Sunday night when we fly in there, Monday morning, I'm ready to rock and roll at all time. I'm telling you, there's lots of energy drinks,
Uh-huh. Oh, I
lots of
believe
energy
that.
drinks.
I believe that, man. So, does your voice, I mean, being young, it probably don't affect it because you've learned how to sell from your diaphragm more than using your voice. But do you find your voice getting a little weak towards the end of the weekend?
Sunday is tough,
Right.
but me being the young guy, I know all those other guys are struggling too.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody's struggling. So I know that I got to be that guy to step up and be there, ready to blow those speakers up. Because I'm bringing the boom every time I get that microphone. You know I'm gonna bring it and give everything that I got.
Dude, I love that saying, man. Bringing the boom. That's that's a Blake Sherman trademark for sure, bud. I guarantee you, right?
Oh yeah,
Bringing the boom, man. Yeah, I love that. That's a
yes
good one
sir.
for sure, man. You know, so you get done, and then are you working Mondays in Dallas, or do you start on Tuesday?
No, Mondays is Auctioneer Appreciation Day.
Oh.
I don't work on Mondays.
That's your day to R&R a little bit, huh?
That is my day. I get ready for the week. I'm mentally preparing just for what goes down at every auction because everything is so situational that I don't know what any given day what's going to be happening. I don't know if a dealer's going to be screaming at me or what's going on, but I promise you that we're gonna be there and we're gonna be bringing the boom.
There you go. Bringing the boom. I love
Come
that,
on,
man.
baby.
I love that. So, you know, hey, the World Championship contest is coming up here really quick, man. And, you know, I know that Scotty's going down there. I know that there's going to be some top dog auctioneers down there, man. And the thing is you have earned credentials, man, to be right there in that realm. You haven't won that that world champion title yet, but dude, you're able to be hanging out in that crowd, and they know that you're
Yeah,
definitely a contender, man. They're definitely a
I'm
contender.
definitely Memphis, May 1st.
Yeah,
Memphis, May 1st.
that's gonna be a
Everybody
that's gonna be
man, I'm
fun.
telling,
God,
I'm ready because I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I dream about it. I think about it. I'm literally just everything. Even during my regular work week, I'm acting like I'm at the world championship.
well,
I'm bringing the excitement.
bring in the boom.
Yeah, baby. What you got? Then it's in Memphis, so I haven't been there yet, so I'm excited.
Well, you've done several contests already and stuff. And those contests, they're tough because it's just really fast pace, and it's on, but it's not nothing like a Barrett Jackson or anything like that. But I mean, being in the room with that many world champion auto auctioneers is humbling, man.
It is definitely a lot of pressure. Being there with all those guys, like there's some top hands in the world, and some of these guys, like I do work with uh some of these guys that I'm competing against at Bear Jackson. Like we're teammates, but these contests, it's any given day. Any given day, you just got to get your set of judges and do you.
Right.
That's what I figured out. Like if I try to change up for the set of these panel judges, if I'm trying to change up what I bring, it just doesn't go too well for me. Like all it gets to is nerves. But if I just do me and bring my style, hopefully they're gonna like it. So May 1st, Memphis, I'm going to compete. I'm competing with my little sister Gracie. I'm competing with her. We're gonna do team, and she's gonna do the ringman as well.
That's awesome. I love them girls, man.
Oh
I
man,
love all you kids, man. You guys are just like my kids, and it's
yeah.
just so good to see you guys grow and get molded into these upcoming auctioneers and stuff. But we haven't talked about the king of the Shermans yet. We haven't talked about the king. I mean, every clan has got a head guy, and that's Papa, man.
Yeah, I got chills right now.
He's amazing. I got to meet Joey and Kelly and your grandpa and your grandma a long, long time ago, man. Your daddy wasn't even born when I was down there with
Uh
my
huh.
dad during the
Uh huh.
summer times and stuff, and was always treated so well by the whole family. I mean, your grandpa was just a great guy. I knew your grandma a little bit, but she wasn't really there that much. But Kelly, Joey, just they ran the road with my dad. Uh, they were up at our house up here in Colorado all the time, going to and from Colorado, and then running with great auctioneers like Colonel Don Hamlin and
Oh wow, yeah.
just Larry Hamlin, and just those guys were the kings of their time, man. And I mean, it was a different world, of course, for an auctioneer because they uh, they they kind of had fun while they were working, and they had a lot of fun when after work, and it was I got stories. I could tell stories for years, and
Oh
it's
man.
just fun stories where I was there. And but the head of the Sherman clan, he was. I watched him, and he treated people like at the Lubbock Auto Auction,
Yeah.
there was some drivers there, and one guy worked there. His name was Wolf, and there was a bunch of these younger guys, and they worked around there, and they all drove cars and stuff for my dad and for everybody, and they worked all
Uh-huh.
around, and they were always wanting to foot race Joey. And I remember one day, they Joey said, "Okay, let's just get it on, man." And he smoked him. I mean, he smoked him. And those guys were like, "Damn, Mr. Sherman," and they were just like,
Yeah.
"You are fast," and he was. I mean, he was a fast man in school. He was a great football player, and he still had it. But I can remember stories about all those guys, and everybody respected him and stuff like that. And he was just in the wholesale. He wasn't in the car auctioneering business at all. He wasn't an
Uh-uh.
auctioneer, wasn't a ringman. Uh, but he was a well-known wholesaler down in that country. And, I mean, I can remember they would take the two-car hauler and they would park it right
Uh-huh.
outside of the auction lanes and open the doors. And as the cars come out, they would bid. The auctioneers would have to watch from because they were bidding out of the hauler, man. They weren't in the lanes. They were in the hauler, man, bidding and having a good time and raising heck. And it was just such a fun time of my life. I mean, I never would ever trade that for love nor money, man. Just to be able to be there with all those guys and be a part of that. That was when the car business was an amazing business, man. It really was.
Oh man, it really and Papa, he's the Don, man. He's
He
the
is.
king.
He is.
He's the king.
He definitely is, man. I mean, he took the ringman by the surprise and just became a hell of a ringman and mentored all of us. I mean, every single one of us was mentored by Randy Lamb, Joey Sherman, and everybody. I mean, we worked underneath them and listened to him. He is the Don. I mean, he is. But what's some of the best advice that Papa's ever given you, man?
Dude, there's so much. There's so much that you can't even narrow it down to one thing. But I know that I'll always be the hardest worker in the room.
Yeah.
That's one thing that he preaches: be the loudest, be the hardest worker in the room, and just be you, be nice, be kind, be the one that everybody wants to be around because that's what he was to everybody. He's the best teacher. You can't
He was.
everybody that I've ever in this auction business, even random people like, oh, your papa, he taught me how to do it. Eddie Ray, James Johnson down here in
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah.
We're real tight together, and we do sales. We work at Barrett, but his one of his biggest mentors was Papa,
Yeah.
and it just blows my mind that how many people that he's really came together and taught them how to do this auction business and just learn because he's got a lot of bullshit, but he's got a lot of wisdom.
You know, I can remember. I think it was. Let me just make sure if I got this right. But Joey would always take and put his foot up on the bumper, and he'd say, nah, and because Joey has a very southern drawl, man. He'd go, now this car over here, boy, now this is the baddest, man. It's a brand new car, and it's a good one. Come on, let's go, And people would say, like, what are you saying? Yeah, Joey, that's what I said too, man. Let's go. And all the auctioneers would just get up there and just, man, it was on. It was on. I mean, I worked with him in Denver. I worked with him in Albuquerque. I worked with him, God, where else did I work? Down in Texas a little bit. But yeah,
Hmm.
just the man, the myth, and the legend for sure. Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed.
He's everything. He really holds us all together back at home, and he's a big thing about us Shermans. We're a big family crew,
Yes, you
and we're
are.
real tight knit. We're real tight knit, and it all leads up to him.
Yeah, it does,
It's
man.
because him and Sassy, my grandma. It's all
Sassy. I
them.
love that lady.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's great, and all these they really held us together and make us who we are. Really,
Yeah.
really, it's just we're just carrying on the name. We're
Well,
just
you are,
carrying on the name.
and you know what? That's a big that's another set of big shoes that you got to fill is just to make sure that you carry on Joey's tradition, his legend, and I mean, we'll all take a piece of Joey with us forever and remember him forever. And I mean, that's one thing I know he knows, but how many people that he's really mentored in his lifetime, man. And how many, I mean, he even was respected by the general managers. They brought him in and what do we think we need to do here and different things like that. People like Jeff West and,
Mm-hmm.
just everybody, man, just think the world of him, man. And they respect him for his craft.
There's he knows what he's talking about. He's good about it too. He's
Guaranteed, man.
good.
Yes, he is. Well, why don't you wait here for just a second? Now, this is this is something that I done for you before I even started thinking about having the young guns on. So I didn't do this for any of the other guys, and I'll probably get ridiculed for it. But I made Blake a song back when I started working on it the minute you got off the stand there and sat on that Cadillac, man. I said I got to make Blake a song. I have to.
Oh yeah.
I have to do this for this young man. And if I make you a song, man, you're pretty special in my life, And
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna go ahead and play it right now. We'll be back here in a minute. They can still hear you talking on the mic because I can't shut it off. So if you want to say something, you're more than welcome. But I'm gonna play this, and this is called Grandpa's Bloodline. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the
Let's
Metal,
hear it.
Motors and Music.
I remember the day that the word came down. Small town room, big love all around. Sherman blood running honest and true. Auction fire and all they do. Grandpa's bloodline, that Sherman name. World champion hearts in the auction game. From the first breath that he ever did, this boy was born to call the bid. Some kids choose it, some kids learn, but some are born with a fire that burns. You could hear it early, deep inside, that rhythm and that pride. Born to call the bid, born to stand tall, with a chant that shakes the very walls. Auctioneer blood, handed down with pride. You can hear his future when the hammer flies. From the day he was born to the man he's become, every road he walked led right here, son. He couldn't help it, it's the way he grew. Blake Sherman, we believe in you. We weren't just watching from the side. Colorado auctioneers stood unified. Not like his family, we are his kin. Every loss, every win, that buckle we had made with love and belief, given to him as a promise, more than a keepsake piece. A promise we made, a truth we knew. This world was waiting on you. Didn't know the lights, didn't know the miles, didn't know the crowds or the trials, but we knew the heart, we knew the gift, and we never doubted it. Born to call the bid, born to raise the roof. Got a chant like thunder and the crowd wants proof. Auctioneer blood runs deep inside. You can feel that legacy when the hammer flies. From the day he was born to the man he's become, every dream he chased, every race he's run, he couldn't help it, it's the way he grew. Blake Sherman, we believe in you. Now it's bright lights, big stages, world on the line. Barry Jackson moments, frozen in time, selling steel memories, history and soul, with a voice that turns moments into gold. Behind that chant, behind that sound, is a family that never let him down. Born to call the bid, born for the stage, got that fire in his voice and wisdom beyond his age. Grandpa's bloodline, that Sherman name, world champions running through his veins. From Colorado love to the man he's become, every step he's taken we've walked as one. This song's our love, our pride, our truth. Blake Sherman, we believe in you. Yeah, some folks choose it, some folks try, but some are raised with a legacy inside. When that chant rolls out and the crowd gets loud, there's family love
Wow, dude. That's amazing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You got to send me that.
You don't have it?
No, I don't have it.
Well, dude, I got to. You have my phone number now. Well, this is the studio
Yeah.
number. You have my regular phone number, so I'll just send it to you on there. But
Nice.
when you uh, when you get it, you send me back your email, and then that way I can email it to you, and then you can have a copy and you can download it. That's your song to use, whatever you want to use it for, man.
Dude.
I don't care, but that's yours. So, yeah,
Thank you,
I'll
bro.
I'll email it to you, but I'll send you after the show tonight. I'll make sure that I send you a copy of it for sure on your phone in Messenger. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man. But you even got people like John Swafford, and I mean, John Swafford's amazing dude, man.
Wow.
He backs an auctioneer or a ringman. He is just. I don't know
Yeah.
what you can say about John Swafford, man. I really
There's
don't.
nothing but good things talking about
Yeah,
a
guaranteed.
guy that knows how to run a sale and really knows the auction business,
Yeah,
not just auctioneering, like the whole business behind it.
he does, man. He does. He's
And
he's he's if you're an auctioneer or you're a ringman and you work for John Swafford and you do a good job, you know, I don't
he's
know,
gonna let you know.
guaranteed, and he's going to take care of you, man. He's gonna make sure that you get any chances that you have, and they're yours. And I mean, like I just said, I don't know what else I could say about John except for he's just an amazing man, and I don't get to see him that much, but I know that he's been. You guys get to see him a little bit, don't you?
He does. He comes. I actually saw him at when I competed in the Lone Star Open. He
Ah,
flew, or he came just to come watch me,
that's awesome.
just to come watch me. And he'll fly into Lubbock. He goes. He probably goes there probably once a month just to go see Papa. They'll just go
Yeah,
hang out for
that's
the day.
see that's the relationship that this is a corporate man now. I mean, Swafford is a
Oh
corporate
yeah.
man, and your papa hasn't been in the auction game for a while now, and
Uh-huh.
and but he's still got people like John Swafford, people like Jeff West that talk about him all the time, and like John does. He flies in and sees him, and they're just great friends, and how can you not like John Swartford,
Oh,
man? He's
one
a
of a kind
class act for sure,
all day.
man, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Blake, I'll tell you what. I have another interview at 7:15, but
Yes, sir.
buddy, I just wanted to let you know that how proud I am of you, man. It's just an
Yeah.
amazing journey that I've watched you grow up and you know be part of this gig, and you're going to definitely carrying on Papa's legacy for sure, man, and your dad's for sure,
And I'm telling, it's a big name to carry. It's a
dude.
big name to carry, and I'm just trying to honor that and
Well,
be.
you're doing a good job, and so are your sisters, man. Your sisters are just amazing, and I've been talking to Riley Bear. I don't know if you know Riley or not. Do you know Riley?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I've been talking to her, and I want to do some young guns of the ladies of auctioneering and stuff. So if I do, I'm gonna definitely have to get a hold of your sisters and try to get them in there
Definitely,
and
dude.
talk to them and stuff. I remember doing a monster truck, and I think you were at that show, but they were just little, and they're like, will you say our names over the microphone and stuff? And I
Uh-huh.
mean, I just love them. You got to do it, man. I mean, you just have to do it. But just great ladies, man. They really are. But all you guys, how's your mama doing? Is she doing okay?
She's doing better, you man. She's fighting. She's fighting. She's
Good.
doing good.
Well,
She's loving it because she got two grandbabies with a third on the way,
no, dude.
and
Nieces,
she's full-time grandmom in it.
yeah, but that's okay, man. That's that's all right because there's nothing better. Kids are okay, but there's something about a grandkid. I got to do a show with my granddaughter on a Saturday afternoon. She sat down next to me here in the studio, and we did a show, and it
Uh-huh.
wasn't long. but I was just like, you could see the love just beaming off of me because I got to sit down and do a show with her, man. And I know that's the way that it is with, with Joey, but I know your mom and stuff gets to spend time with them kids, and she loves them. She's a great lady too, man.
Loves it. Loves it. Love my mama.
Well, you make sure that you tell everybody that I love them and I said hi, and
I will.
I'll have this interview up on YouTube tomorrow. So all you got to do is just go to YouTube and type in "Pedal to the Metal" podcast, and you'll see it. It'll have your interview, and it'll be the next interview on there too. So uh, if you want to tell them that they can watch it if they didn't get a chance to tonight, but they can definitely listen to it on YouTube for sure.
Awesome, dude. I can't wait.
I wish you the best,
Yeah.
my brother. I don't think I'll be able to make it clear down to your wedding, but I'll tell you what, man. I wish you guys the best, and I look forward to meeting your bride.
Man, I can't wait. I love doing this. This is too fun, dude. We got to do it again.
Well, we will. We'll do it some more, and we'll keep talking about Blake Sherman for sure, man, because you're going to keep making us proud. All these young guns are. They're going to make us really proud. So you keep doing the job you're doing, brother, and we'll sit down and we'll tell more stories again. Well, I'll tell you the story one day about when I pulled your dad into the broom closet. I don't know if you know that one or not. When he was working for me at Anglo in Amarillo. So we'll talk about that at another time, okay?
Good deal, man.
I
I
love you,
appreciate
buddy,
everything.
and
I love you too.
you just make us all proud like you're doing, okay?
Yes, sir.
All
All
right,
right.
bud. Have a good night.
All right.
All
See
right,
you.
bye bye, guys. That's what it's all about right there. But that young man is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'll promise you. He's going to be uh, he's going to make that Sherman bloodline even stronger, guaranteed. And then when he has a kid, oh my God, whether it be a girl or a boy, they already know that they're going to be into the auction business for sure. But no, if you ever get a chance, man, and you're down there at the World Championships, or if you're ever at one of the Dallas sales or something, or at Barrett Jackson, and you see Blake, go up and tell him hi, man. He's a great guy, and he he's just he's just an amazing young man. And I'm going to tell you one thing right now. That boy's got the package. He's got the looks. He's got the talent. He's got the name. He's got it all. He is the full Monty. He is the man, the man, the man. So we wish him the best, and I look forward to seeing that. I wish I could go to Memphis. I really do, but I know I'll get a full report from Scott Goodhue, and hopefully I'll get Scott to film Blake when he's doing his run and stuff like that, and we'll get a chance to do that. So. But that's another one of the young guns, and they are just like that. All of them that we're going to talk to this month are going to be they're going to be on fire. They got something special in their life they're doing that makes them unique, and that's why they're going to be on the show. And I look forward to all of them. So the next one will be. Let's see, will be Chad Lamb, and he'll be on the 15th. And Chad's daddy mentored all of us, Randy. Randy is a Colorado auctioneer that sold for many years. I mean, I can remember as a young boy in the car business with my dad going up to the auctions, and I'm talking young, 7, 8, 9 years old. And Randy's up there on the block, big as the day is long, selling cars and stuff. And then we all get into the auctioneering business, and we all learned from Randy and people like Joey and Randy and stuff. We owe our careers to it. So that's what us auctioneers are trying to do now. We're trying to, and Scott is doing such a phenomenal job of how he's mentoring these young men, because Scott really has a passion for it. I mean, I love my auctioneering job, but Scott is all over, and he is a teacher, but he just has it. I don't have the teaching ability that like Scott or those guys have, and to watch him mentor these guys is amazing. And I know he is a proud daddy auctioneer to see these young men just flow. So anyway, we'll be back here in a minute, guys. This is another song I wrote. It's called C10 Backroads. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
On the road, another city tonight. Different neon glow under different lights. Crowds keep cheering when the curtain goes up, but the road back home is what fills my cup. From Dallas bars to a Nashville stage, every highway mile turns another page. But when the music fades and the crowd goes home, I'm thinking about that truck and the road we roam. Those back roads are waiting on my C10, where our story first began. We bought that truck brand new together, two young hearts and a summer wind. Now every night these songs sound the same, under different lights and a different name. But the only thing that keeps me strong is knowing that old C10's taking me home. I remember the day we drove it off the line, fresh paint shining in the summer sunshine, windows down and the radio loud. Two small town kids feeling 10 feet proud. We chased those roads past the county line, talking about dreams and passing time. And every mile that old truck rolled built the life that we still hold. Those back roads are waiting on my C10, where our story first began. We bought that truck brand new together, two young hearts and a summer wind. Now every night these songs sound the same, under different lights and a different name. But the only thing that keeps me strong is knowing that old C10's taking me home. Sometimes fame feels mighty small when you're staring at hotel walls, but a picture in my mind pulls me through those back roads and a life with you. Those back roads are waiting on my C10, where our whole life began. 3 long months and 1,000 miles, but I'm headed home again.
There you go, C10 back rows right here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. We'll be right back here after a word from our sponsors.
Love nuts, take a look at our new partner, 6'9" Graphics and Design. A small design and marketing company, big on personalized surveys. They work closely with you to get your business noticed, with graphics that stand out and grab attention. 6'9" Graphics and Design specializes in stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, so business marketing. They also offer logo design, brochure signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6'9" Graphics and Design. Visit 69design.com or find them on Instagram at 69design.
Need to pick me up to start your day. There's a place in Parker that'll get you going. Rise and Grind Coffee has bold espresso, strong coffee, smooth lattes, plus chai teas and cold. Smoothies, regular or decaf, whatever you're in the mood for. Hungry, grab a hot breakfast burrito or a fresh muffin, quick, simple, and ready to roll. Got something coming up, any event or party you're planning, they've got a portable coffee cart that brings the coffee right to you. Fresh drinks served on site. Local spot, good coffee, good people. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day, one cup at a time.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out with this show. Without you guys, it would be hard to put on a show like this. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Our next guy up is a legend in the monster truck business. He was around when monster trucks were just getting started. As a young man, he grew up in the trucking business. Really, he drove a lot of different trucks and stuff. And I think his first truck was Monster Mash. And I think it debuted somewhere 84, 85 in Medford, Oregon and stuff. But, I mean, this man was more well-known for one of his trucks that he had called Super Pete. And, Super Pete, 1946, 47, something like that, Peterbilt. It had a 454 Chevrolet big block motor in it, 66 inch tires and stuff like that. But it was just such a well-known name truck. Bigfoot and them were out, and they were big pickup trucks. But this man decided to take it up to another notch, and he did stuff with a diesel semi that these guys were doing with regular monster trucks, but this was a diesel semi, man, and it was always amazing because Mike grew up in the trucking business and still in it to this day, in fact. And that's one of the things that we almost didn't know if he was going to make it for the show, because heavy hauling comes up, and hey, you got to pay the bills, man. This is just something that you do because basically because somebody that knows you that has a podcast called you up and asked you to be on the show, and you were nice enough to say, yeah, I think I can do that. And if he had to cancel, that's fine. It's just like, we had Rob French on here or a couple times, and Rob's in the trucking business too, man. And I mean, when you got to go, you got to go, and I totally understand that. I understand that probably more than anybody really thinks I do, because of the fact is I've been in their shoes, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. You got to make that dough. And we'll get the Frenchman back on here again, and I'm glad that Mike was able to be on the show, and didn't have to work, and maybe he is working, and maybe he's just decided he's going to take the time and sit and talk to Roller. So we were a few minutes away from talking to him, but just he's done so much, from movies to he's an announcer, and he's a force to be reckoned with as an announcer. Mike's not a little guy. Mike is a big man, and he gets out there on that microphone, and he's got that voice. You just let him take over, man. We got a chance to do a show together, and I think it was in Bakersfield, but I could be wrong. It might have been in Medford. I can't remember the show, and maybe he will, but when he gets on the microphone, it's all over. You just got to sit down and let him do his thing, because he's definitely got a voice for being an announcer, man. It's just like Dave Gross, there's guys out there that's got it, man, and if you're lucky enough to be able to do a show with these guys, you just got to sit back and take notes, man. I mean, that's just all there is to it. These guys are amazing guys, So we'll go ahead, and it's time. We could call him. We'll call him a little early here. Get him on here. Let's see here. That Robert Haas show is going to be an amazing show, guys. It's going to be. So is the Dr. Danger one, man. It's going to be a good one too. So we've got some good stuff coming up, and we even got some good stuff coming up next month that we have booked. And I'm trying to bring you guys good quality interviews and stuff. So let's see if we can get a hold of him. See if he answers. Hello. And we might.
Hey, you've reached Mike Welsh Motorsports. Just leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, and have a great day.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
We'll hang on for a second, and we'll give him a few minutes, and because it's not right at well, it is now. It's 7:15 now. Let's try him one more time, and if not, we'll play another song, and we'll give him a few minutes. Maybe he is working, and maybe he's in a bad area where he has no cell service. So we'll see here. But I did text him yesterday. He knows that we're going to be on. Mike Edmonds over there laughing. Oh, Mike, I tell you.
Yeah, you've reached Mike Welsh, Mike Welsh Motorsports.
We'll give him a few minutes, man. And hey, Mike, if you, I know you got his number. Maybe you text him or something and tell him that Roller's trying to get a hold of him. We're going to play a song, and then we'll call him back. So we'll give him a few minutes. Maybe he's in a bad area, man. You never know about the big guy for sure. So this next song here I wrote, it's called Produce Stand Angel. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
from the stand on a county road by the interstate line. All I've done since I was a boy was live this simple life of mine. Said we were slow that Sunday afternoon, so I sat with my back to the road, strumming on that old six string, singing the songs I've always known. I was singing He Stopped Loving Her Today by old George Jones himself. Just a lonely tune for the open air and the tomatoes on the shelf. Then I heard a voice like an angel, soft as a summer breeze. I turned around and there she stood, the most beautiful sight I'd ever seen. She said, keep on singing that old song. Your voice sounds like heaven to me. Somewhere between George Jones and Charlie Pride is where your heart ought to be. I almost gave up on love till the good Lord sent me your way. Now I believe in miracles at a little produce stand today. I set that six string down a moment, didn't know what I should say, but she smiled and said, please keep singing, don't let that music fade away. So I picked that old guitar back up, let the country music play, and somewhere between those old love songs I saw love back in her eyes that day. She said, keep on singing that old song. Your voice sounds like heaven to me. Somewhere between George Jones and Charlie Pride is where your heart ought to be. I almost gave up on love till the good Lord sent me your way. Now I believe in miracles at a little produce stand today. She stayed around most of that afternoon while the sun moved low in the sky. Listened to every country tune like the words were written for her and I. When it came time for her to leave, she turned and softly said, can I stop by and see you again? 'Cause I think I'm in love instead with a produce stand singer on a quiet country road, where a six string and a broken heart found a love it didn't know. She said, keep on singing those old songs. Your voice still sounds like heaven to me. Somewhere between George Jones and Charlie Pride is where your heart will always be. Now the Lord writes love stories
started with a country song at a roadside produce stand.
There you go, guys. Produce stand angel right there. Let's try calling Mike Welsh again here and see what he is and see what we can get done. Hello, Tony. How are you, my brother? Good to see you on here.
Yeah, you've reached Mike Welsh Motorsports.
He's got to be.
Leave me a message.
He's
I'll
got to
get
be
back to you
driving
as soon
too.
as I can. Thank you and have a great day.
He's got to be working, and he's got to be in an area where he doesn't have any cell service.
The mailbox
man.
is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
You know what? We're going to keep on going just like we did with the Frenchman, and if we can get a hold of him, we'll get a hold of him. If not, we'll reschedule, man. It's going to be an amazing interview, just like with Rob French. It's going to be another amazing interview once we get him on and get him tied down, and we'll catch him. We'll get him on there, and we'll definitely catch him for sure and get him back on the show. So I guess what I was doing when we first started the show, the first segment of it, and then the power went out. I looked, and we paid the power bill, and we paid the cable bill and all the other stuff. But I don't know what happened. The screens went black, and everything was shut down. So let's go ahead, and I'll give you guys. No, I'll save that one for later on here. Let's play this one here. It's called "Bury Me in My Daddy's C10." We'll be right back here on Pedal the Metal Motors and Music.
Back in 1962, sitting on my daddy's lap while the summer sky was blue. He was talking about a pickup that was honest, strong and true. A 1962 Chevy C10, painted bright and blue. That truck made my daddy grin from ear to ear. Said, son, this truck will carry dreams for many years. He bought it new and drove those dusty roads again. Just me and my daddy riding in that old C10. Come on! So when my road is over and my last song's through, don't lay me down in marble like they usually do. Just roll me home where the back road's been, and bury me in my daddy's C10. That truck carried dreams and family too, since the day it rode off the line brand new. When the good Lord calls me home again, bury me in my daddy's C10.
lessons every week.
Said, son, that six-string voice is the voice you seek.
That old bench seat heard every dream I had,
while that straight six-engine hung beside my dad.
Now I played in cities across the world or two,
crowds singing songs and waving from the crowd view.
but every stage and every road I roam again
still leads me back
to that old C10.
So when my road is over and my last song's through,
Don't lay me down in marble,
like they usually do,
just roll me home
where the back road's been,
and bury me in my daddy's C10.
that truck carried dreams and family too.
Since the day it rolled off the line brand new,
When the good Lord
calls me home again
bury me,
in my daddy's C10. Hey, yeah. Now daddy's gone, but his spirit rides with me.
and every mile of that old Chevy,
The paint's a little faded, but the memories shine.
like the first time he placed that wheel in mine,
No fancy car
could ever meet
what that old truck means to me.
it carried love through thick and thin.
That 1960.
So when my road is over and my last song's through,
Don't lay me down in marble,
like they usually do,
just roll me home
where the back road's been,
and bury me in my daddy's C10.
There you go. Bury me in my daddy's old C10 right here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. Well, Mike, I appreciate you trying to hit him up and see. So we're going to try it again. If not, we got more songs. We got more songs to play and stuff like that. So we'll just continue to do a show, man. That's what you got to do. You got to just continue on. That's it. Let's see here. I'll try him again here. He was talking about some kind of a big police escort haul that he had going on. So I don't know if
Yeah, you've reached Mike Welsh, Mike Welsh Motorsports. Just leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I
can't
can.
leave him a
Thank you, and have a
message.
great
So
day.
that's all there is to it. But give you a little bit more information on Mike. He was responsible for a large number of independent trucks. There was trucks like Lucky Logger, Grease Monkey, California Kid Crusher, Uncle Buck's Thunder Wagon, Freak Show. He's been around, man. He's done some amazing stuff. And let's see here. I know for a fact, and let's see, I wrote it down here someplace, but I think if memory has it, that Super Pete was 14 feet tall and weighed like 8 tons. It was massive. It really was. And these are the kind of trucks that Mike was famous for. I mean, he built some big bad ones. And so I guess what we can do is we'll just give him a few and see if he calls in. If not, we'll reschedule him. We got plenty of dates open, and we'll reschedule him for that at a bigger time. So this next one here is called Your Picture on the Dashboard of My C10. And for you folks that are just new to the show, you're like, well, wow, this guy plays a lot of C10 truck songs. Well, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's because I'm a big fan of C10s. And then number 2, my buddy has C10 America magazine, and I'm always trying to help him with new songs for his show and different things like that. So if you guys know me, you know that if you're a friend of mine, I like to help you out and like to keep stuff going if we got stuff that your listeners like and stuff. So I always try to put new songs out there for him and stuff. So this here song is Your Picture on the Dashboard of My C10. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
I keep your picture on the dashboard of my C10. Well, I rolled into town in my old C10 tonight. Dust on the tires and the headlights bright. But before I hit the stage and sing these songs again, I look down at that picture sitting on my dash, my friend. It's a faded little photo from a summer long ago. 2 kids in love down a country road. She had that smile that stole my soul back then, and that picture still rides in my C10. I keep your picture on the dashboard of my C10, right where the road and my heart both begin. Every mile reminds me where I've been and how lucky I was when love rolled in from those teenage nights to the life we're living, through every prayer that the good Lord's given. Girl, you've been my road since way back when. That's why your picture just a couple of kids, sneaking kisses by the river bridge, radio playing those old love
why your picture some folks chase fortune, some chase fame, but I found heaven in a small town name. Just a pickup truck and a love so true, and a little old picture of me and I keep your picture on the dashboard of my CJ. Every mile tells a story again. From two young hearts to where we've been. Lord, I'd do it all over again. Through dusty roads and the life we're living, all the love that the good Lord's given. Girl, you've been my rose since way back when. That's why your picture
There you go, your picture on the dashboard of my. Hey, Chris Guzman, what's up? I'm waiting on Big Mike. Yeah, we confirmed times yesterday, and I think I might have texted him again today. But Mike Hedman might be right, man. He might be thinking 7:15, his time. So, well, we're gonna be just hanging out, man. That's we're gonna be doing, man. I have the utmost respect for these drivers and what they're doing to keep the wolves away from their doors and stuff, man. And Chris Guzman, man, I love your little shorts that you're doing on the ski slopes, man, and stuff. They're cool, bro. I'm glad that you ain't gonna let anything get you down, man. You're out there just shredding it on that board and stuff, dude, and that's awesome. And Goose, man, we got to have you on the show too, man, because you got some time in the seat, and I'd love to have you on and talk about your days of stuff and getting in there. So we'll definitely talk soon and try to set you up on a date for sure, my friend, guaranteed. But no, hey, Mike's a businessman, and it's business first, business before pleasure. My dad always used to say. So let's go ahead and let's play another one here. I'm a big NHRA fan. I love drag racing. I love the old school dragsters. Anytime gonna take her ambulance out this summer again. Oh, right on, man. That's good. I like to see that. But anyway, I made a song about Big Daddy Don Garlits, and you don't have to be a drag racer to know the name Don Garlits, man. I mean, he is a legend in the sport and done so many different things, and had so many things happen to him, man. And he always overcomes stuff. And so this one here is called Big Daddy of the Quarter Mile. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
changed history. A clutch blew up with a thunder sound, steel and sparks flying all around. But Big Daddy stood and he made it clear, no more engines, sitting right up here. Move the power behind the seat, built the machine that no one could beat. Oh, rear engine thunder, shaking the ground. A brand new chapter in racing found. 200 miles and faster still, breaking the limits of speed and will. Big Daddy flying down the quarter mile, burning the track with a rebel smile. From farm dirt roads to the record books, changing the way that the whole world looks. Smoke and thunder in the Florida sun, a lifetime of races forever won. When drag race legends are told in style, Big Daddy rules the quarter mile. Rules the quarter mile.
There you go, man. Big Daddy of the quarter mile. I mean, he is a legend. That's funny. Ed Beckley's on here, and Ed says Don thinks everything is animated. Seriously, he thinks everything is alive. He would even talk to all of the parts. It's okay, man, because you got to become one with the car, especially when you're going at speeds like you guys did. I know, Ed, that you became one with that motorcycle when you climbed on it, and that's just the way it is, man. I mean, you gotta believe in anything. And Ed, I look forward to hearing more about the book here soon, if it's out or how it's coming along. So if we need to do another segment with you and talking more about the book coming out and stuff, I'm down for it. So let's see if he can. I think Mike Hedman might be right. He might be thinking that it's 7:15 his time. But you know what? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, man. I ain't never gonna give up. Daddy didn't raise no quitter. Promise you that.
Yeah, you've reached Mike Welsh Motorsports. Just leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you and have a great day.
The good thing about it is, we are definitely getting closer. We are definitely getting closer to his time of the 7:15 hour. So we'll continue to. That's one good thing about this show. We've always got something to fill it. We always got something to keep the ball rolling. I mean, I learned that from a gentleman that I started in the motorsports business with a long time ago, Stanley Torgerson. You've got to keep the show going. So as an announcer, there's been many a time that I had to come up with the Twinkie eating contest or the dance contest, or put one side of the building against the other and see who could be the loudest. And I mean, there's just all kinds of things that you do, or walk around the arena with a spoiler off of something that you knew some racer had to have. And you can no dead air. So I mean, I had a group, and they're down in Abilene, Texas, and I called them my rowdies. And it all started by giving them a hood off of one of the crush cars. and they came back and they helped me keep the show going and helped me get everybody fired up and stuff. So like for 5 years in a row, I gave them a hood, and they all sent me pictures one time. Well, they didn't send it to me. In fact, they all showed up at a show, and they had this picture framed and had it all wrapped up, and they gave it to me, and it was them standing in front of the hoods that I gave them, and the last time I seen the last one of them, he had his son with me, and these guys were not even married or anything. And the last thing they were thinking about was kids when I first met him. So, but he had his boy with him, and he was telling his boy, "See, this is the man that gave me the hood that's hanging up in my shop," and they still have that stuff. That's what's crazy, man. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So this next song here is a song, and I forgot a couple of people like Ronnie Sturgis and stuff, and I'll have to go back and remake this song just to make sure that I put the right people in. But this is a song about monster truck drivers that have passed away, and they're up in heaven doing their monster truck shows, and it's also about a legendary young announcer, Lloyd Massey. And Lloyd never did get a chance to meet him. I know Dave Gross knew him very well and stuff, and I think they worked some shows together. But Lloyd was always one, I always heard that he was one that could definitely carry a crowd and definitely carry the show if he needed to do so. And he had a passion for it, and I think you're a good announcer if you have a passion for doing that. I really do believe that, and you have people like Lloyd and Dave Gross out there, and they're doing their shtick, as we call it in the business. You got to be an entertainer, man. You got to come up with stuff on the fly, because sometimes one of these trucks needs 10 minutes because they got to do a starter change or they got to do something. And so as an announcer, man, if you don't have another truck ready to go, you got to get out there and you got to sing a song, tap dance, or do whatever you got to do. So this is about these guys up in heaven. They decide they're going to have a big, who's the big king of heaven in the monster truck world, and Lloyd Massey was the show announcer for him. So this is called Titans of the Dirt. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Hey, yeah!
We've got Big Mike on the phone right now, guys. So I just went ahead and ended the song right fast, and I knew he'd call in. I knew he'd be here for us. What's up, my brother Mike? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm 100% charged, and my headset. I can hear everybody, and I think we're good. I think we're okay. Had a little debacle at the Love's truck stop. I picked up a little piece of metal in one of the heavy haul tires, and they said, "Well, you need a new tire." And I said, "Well, I've been airing it up for a day." And they said, "Well, we can tell it needs a new tire." Finally agreed to back it out of their store. They used the blasted it up, and I aired it up, and I'm okay. But I wanted to try to do that. I gotta get on in tonight, but I didn't know how this worked. If I had to be on a standby for a while, or if we're ready to go.
We are ready to go, and I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. If you got something that is more priority, that like this tire that you have to get in, we can reschedule this at any time. I understand, man.
We are done and we are ready to go. And I'm at a little lack of sleep lately, so if I seem a little weirdo more than normal, that's the case. I'm making an excuse right now, but I'm ready to answer any and all questions, that kind of stuff, and excited. Even a kid at the last truck stop, he wondered what I did, and I told him, and I told about your deal, and he goes, "I'm gonna find you," and he did within seconds. So he ought to be. If they can type in or talk about it, he was excited to be a part of something. He doesn't even know what I do. I just told him I was going to be on a podcast, so he was all excited that one of his trucking customers are going to be doing something.
Right on, man. Right on. So what are you hauling today?
Just some of the scrap, oversized scrap. We've got about 300 tons of it to move out of the middle of the state over to the processor over in Ferndale, Washington, to scrap it. Our friend there that has that operation. So we'll be doing that for a while and then working everything else in between. And I got monster truck parts scattered all over the country, still trying to get back. My cab over Marmon is loaded with the Mike DeFriend tires still back there in the laydown yard in Houston, outside of Houston. So I got parts everywhere. And Trey Myers, he's so close to getting the new extended hood, Peterbilt hood done. I can taste it. And man, I'm so excited on that deal. He does such great work, and he's got it close. The mold is done. He's just got to pop the part, but I told him just not to rush it. I know he gets pulled from every direction. And when you're so busy, like so many of us are, man, just somebody taking a little pressure off, it means a lot. And I appreciate it when people help me that way, where I've overbooked and do too much work and too many this and that. You just hate to say no to people, So.
Yeah, buddy, that's the truth, man. That's the truth. And that's the kind of guy you are, man. I mean, you understand. And that's the way we hear on the show. We understand that you guys have got to make a living and you got things to go do. And you're just taking more of a courtesy out of your day to do this, and I really appreciate it, man. I really do, because number one, I mean, you're such a big part of the monster truck world. I mean, I myself, it's a privilege to even be able to say, hey, I've got Mike Welsh's phone number and I can call him and he'll talk to me. It's just the kind of guy that you are, and just really fun. But why don't we get started? First of all, let's just start. Born on the 28th of September, young man, back in Washington and stuff, and just hanging out. Scott Anderson's on here, and he said, "Big Mike, what's up, Big Mike?" But got Ed Beckley's on here, man. Tony Curcio's on here. Mike Hedman's on here. There's quite a few people on here, man. And then plus we got our regular listeners, and they're all tuning in because I have been pumping the show up like crazy, because I think this is going to be another great show. Dave Gross is on here, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, Bellingham, Washington, talk to us about, as a young Mike Welsh, what went on in your life?
Well, I try not to repeat any of the stuff, so we'll take it clear back. We'll take it clear back as a very young boy, and then anytime you want to pump the brakes or hit the Jake brake or tell me the bail, I can switch directions. So
you got it.
Let's just start out at the very youngest. The very first memory that I ever had was in a truck, and I was with my dad. and I was maybe 1 or 2 years old, and we're getting chased by the cops. My Uncle Mike is pulling us in an old log truck, and we're in another truck. And we pull over, and it's, lay down, Mikey. Mikey, stay down. Why, Daddy? Why? I'll just stay down. Stay down. And, the cops go by, and we take off again, and we're towing this old log truck wherever we're going. And, I've asked him this many times. I've even said it on air. What in the world, Dad? Why did you have to stop? Why did you have to have me hide under the dashboard of the old log truck? He goes, well, I was just a young dad, and there was things back in the day. You couldn't have young children out in the middle of the night doing stuff. He goes, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just hid you, and I covered you up. I laid down over on top of you so nobody could see. So that's the earliest memory I have. Wow. And then the earliest stuff with my mother. And she was a great lady. We lost way too early. She was 53 years old when she died.
Oh, man.
And just about all my friends, we've exceeded that by a few years now.
Yeah.
And she would tell me we lived in this little house in Bellingham next to the fire station, and there was a truck thing around where the cement trucks would take the raw cement to the plant, and then they would do whatever they do with it. But there was trucks coming all hours of the night. And my mom would tell me the story of the little engine that could. And up on the top edge of my bedroom, for at least 3 of the walls, the light would shine off the truck, and then the truck would drive around 3 walls in my bedroom.
Oh,
and
wow.
she always was my favorite story. And she always told me the little engine that could story. And I think she just liked to ramble and tell stories too. But that was the one I remembered the most. And she was a pretty wild person because as a young kid, I would race my mom on my chopper bicycle. I was the king of chopper bicycles, like so many people. The guys our age now, that I've got to meet everybody. Everybody built chopper bicycles.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was kind of special, but man, and Charlie Pauken built a 2-story bicycle, and so many of my friends. I think Scott Anderson talked about his chopper bicycles, and I had my chopper bicycle, and we only lived a block across the street to the store. So I'd race my mom on my chopper bicycle, and I knew she had to stop at the stop sign. So I barreled right through the intersection and got run over. I stuck the front wheel right in the wheel well of this old pickup truck, and this guy just crapped his pants. Oh my God, I killed a kid. I pulled a bicycle out from the front wheel, and I seen my mom. My mom watched the whole thing, and the first thing out of her mouth was, honey, don't tell your dad we were racing. Don't tell your dad we were racing. And that's kind of been the theme with my mom for a long time. She would, like, we had old cop cars, and I've told some of this story before, but Dad would get the old Polaris from the auction, the county sale and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The cool cars, 413s, 383s, 440s. So she always had these old cars, and that's what we rode around in. And when I was maybe about the same, a little younger than the bicycle days, because I was probably kindergarten, because I started welding right around kindergarten, Dad would let me start messing with the torch. I'd probably braze first, because first I'd cut the forks off with the hacksaw, pound the water pipe over it, but then they kept falling off, and I kept doing endos, and he said, well, I better fix that a little bit. But with my mom, I was young. I was probably 4 or 5, right in there, maybe a little younger. And she'd let me crawl down on the floor and run the throttle pedal, and she would do the burnouts with that cop car, and we'd smoke the tires. And she'd go, don't tell your dad we're doing burnouts. So we'd sit there and just smoke the tires. But then she played me a trick because I was real young. And she goes, well, when you turn 16, the government's going to put, and the police, they put a governor on here, so you can't do that. Oh yeah, I'll just take it off. No, it won't run without it. So kind of like an early breathalyzer for the burnout.
Right.
She was ahead of her time on her story, and it was just a story because. But when I was 16, I was lucky to have a car that would burn out, let alone the old like she had. Those way more horsepower ratio than I had.
Of course.
Small block cars. They had the old cop car, the 440 with good compression and all that.
Yeah.
They were cool. So that's the earliest of that stuff, and then point me in a direction and I'll run with it if you want. The earliest high school days with the Monster Mash, or if you want a different flavor, you lay it on me, man.
Well, I'll tell you, and then Chris Guzman's on here, and he said, "Yo, Big Mike, what's up, man?" Anyway, yeah, let's talk because Monster Mash really was the first truck, really, right? And that was about what,
Yeah.
85, 80, 84, 85, something like that.
Medford, March of '84, World of Wheels Car Show was my very first gig with the Monster Mash.
Wow.
So I graduated in high school in '81, and then prior to that, 1980, I built it as a two-wheel drive. I got the truck when I was 13. We've talked this story. I used to go down before school with my dad and help him pick batteries at Z Recyclers. Hard to imagine this is what we did, but this is what we did, man. And my brother's 2 years younger than me. We'd go down and hand bomb batteries onto flatbed trailers, and then they'd take them, I believe, to Pasco, but my dad was involved, and they'd pay us a couple of bucks. So we'd get down there, and I worked for them pulling parts after school. And a shout out if it could ever get to Art Zawicki. He's getting up there in years, but that was my friend Tim's dad, and we went to school together, and just the coolest dude. And when I was a little kid back in the bicycle days, my dad would be taking scrap in there, and he'd always let me pull a free bicycle out of the scrap pile. And to a 4 or 5 year old kid, man, that's
gold.
Oh yeah, another one started the hoarding, bicycles and
right.
Bicycle shop. But I try to pass that on to any kid I can, and people I give to, and I help the needy, and you just got to ask, and I'm usually there to help, and I've just really that way of giving. I've really turned my life around in the last year, and I call it. It's a tithing. It's not really a church tithing, but it's a people tithing. And I try to do that every single day. And I can tell you, and the listeners and my friends, and a lot of you know this, but the more you give, the more you get back. And the doors, everything comes. And my last 6 months have been a testimony to just of that happening. And I'm not going to get super religious and talk about the power of God and everything, but the power of God has really come into my life the last 6 months of giving and giving back. I can't even explain the miracles that have happened in the last 6 months. So,
well, that's amazing though, man. But I'm a big believer in the good Lord above, man, and I believe that that exactly how you are, man. I mean, I believe that if you give, good things will come to you, and I am a firm believer in that. I really am.
Yeah, it's so many doors open, and even when you don't see them coming, they just do. They just open, and they're there. And especially the last 6 months for me, as I'm getting up there in years, and I still have a couple of tricks up my sleeve. There's some experimental things that have never been seen. They've been living in this old goofy mind for 30 plus years that I've just got to do. It's now or never. I don't know how much beating around I can do. I've had so many concussions for so many years. When I'd rattle my head and just shake my head, it was all blurry, dizzy, and the sack was loose in the brain. No pun, but it was. And the last hiatus, the last time I drove was over in Japan. I did not have any, head issues there, but it's kind of healed up, and I've talked to different doctors and different things, and they say, man, if you don't have any side effects, anything that seems bad, go ahead on it. But I want to try these new tricks, but it's not going to be from falling from 40 feet in the air. It's going to be finesse driving and the type of vehicle that nobody's ever seen, nothing even close to it. The next two experimentals, the Super Pete's coming together. It's kind of a retro, but it's going to have the patent pending suspension on it. I've been trying on 2 or 3 patents, and so much of my money goes that way to try to lock this in. But I'm just about to the point where, what the heck, man? It's my gift. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So many of my ideas Liberty has been taken on so many things, from my log and tires and the jumping and the no cars, which a lot of people hated. But back, 20, 30 years ago, out of necessity to move my whole show, that's what we did. We brought our jumps, we brought our log and tires, we had our equipment, we had our sound system, we could set up everything, and we were self-contained, and we could go into very prestigious horse arenas and not have to worry about the glass. Even when you vacuum and clean for days, you miss little kernels here and there.
Guaranteed.
And it's a lot of work. And the new super jump thing that I have is going to be crazy, and I've got all the stuff for it, and I don't know if I'm going to sell that with the patent, if I'm going to have it out for rent, or what I'm going to do with it. But we're going to try it first, and it's just going to be crazy. It's an identity of itself, and nobody has seen anything like it. It makes anything that I've ever built for jumps, obstacles, backflip ramps, ramp to ramp jumps, you name it. This is a million times crazier, and it's going to the potential for superstar drivers and to give something new to the industry. It's going to be off the charts. It's just, I'm so excited, and I've got everything now in-house ready. I've got everything gathered up now. It's just going to take me some time. But if you had to try to go out and buy all these components that I have for this experimental machine, you'd be $200,000 to $300,000, if not more. There's no way you could duplicate it for what I've gathered up in the last 10 years. So I thought last year would be the answer, but it's not. And this year, it's full steam ahead on this thing.
Well, cool, man. That's awesome. Well, I mean, you've had so many success stories in everything. I mean, like from winning your first battle of the monster trucks in 1985. You were in Rolling Vengeance in '87, man. That was, and I'll tell you what. Excuse me. For you guys that are live and can see in here in the studio. Excuse me.
No problem, man.
Here is my copy of Rolling Vengeance back from Blockbuster days or something like that, and it's a VHS. Great movie. It's just a cool movie, man, and you got to see it. But if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's called Rolling Vengeance, and the theme was always use the right tool for the job, and it was just. It's a pretty cool story, man. So why don't you talk a little bit about Rolling Vengeance?
Well, I tell you, it was an honor, and it was some history. I thought I basically knew everything there was to know about that. I was 23 years old. The producers seen us in Anaheim. That was where I believe I was the very first to break off a knuckle clean off the truck. So there I was in the Monster Mash, came up, and I told Bigfoot and Kramer and Chandler I wouldn't tell the story anymore, so I'll make a small rendition of it. But I come up with the Monster Mash, horrible offset on the 5 tons, come up over the dirt jump, snap the front end off it, the wheels laying under it, and those boys are chuckling and everything because nobody had ever seen that, and I'd probably chuckle too. 20-year-old kid, breaking the knuckle off back when nobody was doing that kind of thing.
Right.
And the producers were in the stands, and then I came out with the Destroyer, the cab over semi, and they're going to themselves. They're going, man, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a cab over for this new movie, and we had the tough axles and everything was strong on it, and we didn't really break the wheels off there. And I came out and zipped around, did a little bit more than I did the Mash, kept all the wheels on it. And I made an impression on them. There was a lot of trucks there back then in those days of Anaheim. And so they secretly followed me around for 2 or 3 weeks after that, just watching me. And then they approached me and they said, hey, we got an up and coming deal. We'd like to talk about it. So we talked about it, and I gave them what I needed to do it. And I was pretty under budgeted on everything because up to that point, very little money to do any of these projects, very shoestring, terribly, terribly so. No income from anything other than what I could kind of earn. And they said, we're going to go with you. And then it was several $100,000s that I got. I had to build the trucks, take them to Toronto, had like 6 months to do it, and got to keep all the equipment afterwards. And now looking back, I was just a kid, but I could have had all the wreck trucks, all the equipment. And I said, oh, how would I get it home? I was paid so well. I could have had any semi-truck company, with a step deck haul all the stuff back, but all we brought back were the 2 Rolling Vengeance trucks. So I missed out there, but kind of a cool piece of information that I just learned. There's maybe, I don't know who all is listening here right now, but there might be 1 or 2 people in the world that know this information that was told to me, and it came from Everett. with USA One. He told me at the Hall of Fame that he had the script and they are talking to him, and he turned them down. So here I thought I was extra special, you know, the super kid at 21, 22 years old to get this close to $500,000 deal. And it probably was just timing, because at that point, Everett was probably so in demand. He just didn't have time to take on building 2 trucks from scratch and getting them done in 6 months, and then going and living in Toronto next to Hulk Hogan in the Celebrity Palace and all that wah-dawing that happens around those movies. He'd been around it. He probably just said, man, I don't need it. But he did tell me that he has the script. He still has the original script from the Rolling Vengeance. So I thought that was a cool piece of history that I didn't know up until the Hall of Fame last year when he told me that.
Wow,
so,
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, after everything goes by, comes somewhere around 87 or something, and here comes Super Pete, man. I mean, 87 model, or no, it's a 47 model, wasn't it? 40, not 87, but it was in 87.
Yeah, 87 with a early hood, you know, 86 hood. It was a fresh hood that we got, but I had money from the movie. And those trucks, that Super Pete was a Rolling Vengeance. I had to keep one of them together. There was 2 of them total. We tried to float it in the movie, and we test floated it with the 73s. It floated pretty good. We did it full dress, put all the house and the outhouse and all the metal, and then they wanted it to go faster, so we put a 200 horse Merc on the back of it, got it out into the water, just got it down off the edge, fired that engine up to put the boat thing in gear, and it flipped over on me. So we had one sink. I about drowned it, and I'm not a good swimmer, so I about drowned in that one.
Oh, man.
And so we had one in for the interior shots and one out in the country for the Chinese outside stuff that we did. But, you know, I think that they got insurance money on it, but they never told me, because we got all done. And even though I was paid so well, they said I did such a good job, they gave me $10,000 cash bonus at the end, which is just unheard of today in that deal, you know. But they were impressed with the old kid. So I built the Pete we kept one together because they really thought it would take off the movie, but it really didn't. It's got way more traction nowadays than it ever did back, you know, when it came out in 87. You know, it's kind of even a little bit of a cult following. You love it, you hate it, you love to make fun of it. You know, the lines are corny, but they're cool. You know, they hold up, you know. You know, and it was just it was a great time. And you know, I would have had, they say, a couple more movies afterwards, and it is what it is. But my mother was really ill, and she was dying at that point of cancer, and we didn't have cell phones and all the stuff we have today. And we would have had Tango and Cash and Roadhouse too, but I missed those.
Well, you know, but you spent time with your mom, and that's what matters, buddy. That's the
but she lost the number, you know. We didn't have a way to get a hold of anybody, and you know, I think we were in Japan at that time, you know, doing the shows there, so we just, you know, but it's all good, and I got to do everything I ever wanted to do, and maybe there'll be another deal for me, another reality show, or, you know, if nothing ever comes my way, I don't need it to come my way, you know.
Sure.
I've had just great blessings, and my friends, and you named off just a few quick 5 or 6 of them right there. And I mean, I'll stand up to anybody pound for pound and put a row of my friends in a line. And man, they're some of the greatest individuals walking this earth, man. I love each and every one of them. And so many of them have a personal story and a connection to me, you know, that I tried to mentor the young kids and show them trucking and show them welding and show them fiberglass, and just, you know, some didn't have great dads and didn't have things. And I always tried to be the very best I could be for those kids. And I tell you what, man, now that those young kids are, you know, they're close to 40, you know, I think little Joey Evans, 40 years old, and he started out just coloring pictures, coming by the compound on the King Mountain Road, and he would draw pictures of monster trucks, and you know, it's 5, 6 years old, and put them in the mailbox, you know. And that's how I met him. And Brett Shetner, he came to my very first produced show at Hannigan Speedway, our hometown, when we had everybody there. And, you know, and he's been a friend. And Stephen Smith with the ice cream cone from Portland, and in the early 80s with the Pete, and they show me videos. And how do you say no to a kid that their dad says, hey, my son would really like to be around monster trucks? And they show a video of him about 5 years old with an ice cream cone all over his face at the I think it was Rose Garden there with Matthews. And they go, oh man, that's my favorite Daddy Super Pete. So how do you say no to these kids that have been lifelong supporters and friends and even up now the latest, and I'm going to say one of the greatest, little Preston Perez. He got kicked around the playground, so to speak, in this industry for decades. And, nobody wanted to play with him, take your ball and go home and all the stuff. And we had a one-on-one many years ago. I brought him up to the compound and I said, hey, we're going to talk about a few things. And, what a success story. And I told him that there will be a day when he does learn all this stuff, but he wanted it so fast and so now. And he just felt bad that he wasn't raised with a wrench in his hand and crawling under trucks,
Right.
He's raised by great parents and his grandparents, and they taught him how to be a great young man, and it's paid off. I told him it would, and he's my favorite success story of recent drivers that people said, hey, he'll never make it. He can't drive a truck, and anyone can drive a truck, and nobody knows the desire and the drive each and every one of us have in us. Nobody knows that.
Right.
Maybe the man upstairs, So the kids, the family, and all my friends, man, I love y'all. I love each and every one of you. It's not a tagline on the end of my videos. It's a real deal that I love each and every one of you. And I pray for just the very best for all my friends. There's more than enough of everything in the world for everybody to get plenty.
That's the truth. That is the truth. Even Chris Guzman's on here right now, and he said, showed me everything I know. And, Chris had a good career in the monster truck business and stuff like that. And he's overcome many obstacles and in his life. And, I got a chance to become good friends with Chris, and I follow him still to this day. And he really has overcome some bad luck, man. And most people would just lay down, but not the Goose, man. Not at all.
No, he's great, man. I still, as we get older, we just remember when those kids approached the first time, like him with his snowboard from Mount Hood. And
yeah,
he was a snowboarder, and Big Carl brought him down and said, hey, man, this is a good kid. I really think he'll do well. I think you're going to like him. And man, I didn't like him. I loved him right from the start. He was great. He was great. He was great. And as any team and so many personalities and things, you try to get along. It's like a big family of brothers, man. There's going to be love and hate, and in Guzman's case, I'm not going to mention the other name. There's fights too, right? Among our family, and it was hard, but they do great, and they've learned so much.
Yeah.
And he's went on to just be wonderful. But he was as fresh as they come,
Yeah, guaranteed, man. I mean, we hit it off right off the bat when we started working together, man, for sure. Many other trucks you built and drove: Lucky Logger, Grease Monkey, California Kid Crusher, Uncle Buck's Thunder Wagon, Freak Show, Red Baron, Pirate Pete, Flying Fire. Man, I mean, that's a list. Not very many people can say that they were involved with that many different trucks in their career.
Yeah, I love building things. I love changing it up as I produce my events, as a lot of these promoters that are owner promoters out doing their thing. You try to keep it fresh. You try to keep it in-house, hire a few trucks to come in, but I always tried to mix it up so the people seen it was a new deal. But, they're smart too. When they see the same haulers roll into town, the same circus elephant rolls out with just a different skin on it. They kind of, people are pretty wise to it, but, it's all good. And I some of them, probably I shouldn't have built, but what the heck? I got to do everything I ever wanted to try, and my imagination has run wild since I was a little boy, and it's been a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
I don't even, been a lot of hard work, and I couldn't have done it myself, all of it. I mean, that's testimony right now to how many I'm building now by myself. Count them. really
Right.
none. You know, so you know, the Monster Mash was close, but it was built to go to the museum, and then you know to leave there as kind of a retro, old school steel body mixed with glass and the new frame and cool stuff. But you know, we had a little misfire there, and it never went there to be retired in the museum. So it's sitting in the barn, and you know, got $200,000 or $300,000 in the coolest display truck, or maybe, I mean, close. I like old school stuff, but
Yeah.
it's got things that you couldn't have on a racetrack because it would eat itself alive. But there it sets, you know, and you know, the new Super Pete, I should be able to get out and do a little bit with it, but it's going to be more of a nice looking piece with the shininess and stuff, and not deliberately tearing it up and ripping it apart. You know, I want to keep it nice. And then the not the final, but the next to the final, this new the Rickety Pete. I don't know if you want to talk about it, if now's the time or never.
You know, whenever you're ready to spill the beans, we're ready to listen, man. I mean, I know that we're gonna redo your song, and we're gonna put that in there for you. But yeah, I kind of wanted to make that you know, this is something that he's just getting ready to start doing, and we're going to hear about it here tonight. So yeah, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
Well, what it is, it was started 30 years ago. I can't believe basically half of my life is gone since this project started, but that's the way it goes. Half of my life. So it's been in the works for a long time, with a little retrofit Johnny come lately, so to speak, on this thing. Is I took the M5 high-speed Army tank that like Stam Sturgis had and Scott Anderson had, not the heavy Arlen Smith kind, the M4s, but the M5 was a lot lighter. Kyle in California has one now, and they're around. I took that differential, cut the transmission off because they have a built-in heavy 1,000-pound transmission, maybe more, and it has the pinion married to it. So we cut the flange off that transmission, shortened the pinion up, put it in there. Took the sprockets off and pulled the sprockets off, made wheel adapters so I could put 66-inch tires on that.
Wow.
So, and it's heavy, and it's offset to the rear. So I got the engine way in the back, and it should be a wheeling machine steered with sticks. And the way those planetary tank differentials work, you don't really stop one wheel like a dozer or a bobcat and spin them backwards, but they do have a planetary brake when the band is applied. That's a 3-to-1, 3.8-to-1 reduction. So it slows down. The rear end is live all the time, and you pull it on, and it turns it into a planetary. So that'll spin around pretty good. And then recently, I've been trying to find these big square tires. They're used up in Alaska, and then down in Louisiana. Mike DeFriend had some, and we made a deal, and I've got it. So the tires that I've been looking for, we've got. And what I'm going to do is put one on the front. We're going to use large cylinders like motorcycle forks, and then a cantilever with some David Tucker shocks in the front. And I should be able to get, because there won't be any drive to this front wheel, I'll be able to get 40 inches of travel.
Wow.
And it'll be wheeling. And we're going to do a steel body, probably hard ox, like an end-dump would have, some 3/16 hard ox. It's going to look like kind of a rickshaw from the Orient with big ape hangers that help it roll over in the front. That I won't hang on to those because it won't steer. It's all welded in solid. But I'll steer with the sticks behind it. And we're going to call her Rickety Pete, like a rickshaw, Rickety Pete. So that, and I am excited to run it. I don't know what all it'll do. It ought to be, it ought to be pretty light. It ought to be about 10,000 pounds. You only got one tire and no drive. The big cylinders are big. They're off an excavator that we had, and actually got them from Aaron Averill. Aaron, if you're listening, great kid from Tillamook, Oregon. So the Averill boys, I don't know if they follow along. He might. And but got a couple, even though we have a dozen pair at the house in the compound, these were fresh on the floor, ready to go. So as soon as I get a little more time, we're going to start doing that front axle and get that mounted up. but I'm going to do a test drive this summer for sure. And if it works and does everything that I think it's going to do, we're actually going to pull the blower motor and the Shorty Glide out of the Monster Mash and put right into this unit, into the Rickety Pete to give it a test run. And then I'll know what it's going to do. So.
How cool, man. I mean, I can't wait to see. I want to see photos of it. That's the thing that, you can kind of picture it in your head, but it's going to be completely different than what you're really picturing. I mean, what from the story you're telling. But I can't wait to see photos of it, man. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Basically, just take any rear engine monster truck, Leafer from the 90s,
right?
Cut it off at the firewall. Build a set of chopper fork adapters like I did as a bicycle kid at 5 years old, and put one tire in the front. Like, better have good welding though, not just with the pipe.
Yeah.
Any Leafer from the 80s with a deal in the back, a motor, and then put one big fat 6 foot high, 6 foot wide tire with motorcycle forks on it. That's what it'll be. And
that's cool.
And what I want to do, and I tried this years ago and we failed to do. I had the bars over the top like Doug DeMocus on one of the front engine trucks.
Uh-huh.
And I really want this thing to do the razzle dazzle of the front flip with the big brakes.
Yeah.
The Tesla has the big drum brakes. I've got a special thing built, but I do believe that I should be able to come in high speed, grab the brake, and ride it like a motorcycle, like the Kenny Haskell or any of the kids that ride the motorcycle. That how they ride that front wheel. I believe it'll do that, but it might just slide the front wheel. But if I can get a little bounce, I think at high speed I can get that applied because the tire, is right there at 6 feet wide, so it's going to have a little bite.
Yeah.
And then as 4 foot of suspension comes down, it should have a little weight transfer, and time will tell.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. And then, you were the first monster truck driver to perform in Japan, correct?
The first group, 89, and then 90 we went back. So 89 it was extra special. And then so many of the shows were way back then. And then 90 came, Bigfoot came, and then I was the second act. But I was the first act, made it in the front page of the largest paper in Japan, big old color spread, and pretty cool stuff, that first year. It was cool the second year, just Bigfoot took the limelight on that deal, and I was there. So. You And then, it was fun.
What about this? And I got some notes written down here, and I'm kind of right. You were like Steve Curcio. Your bio was amazing. I mean, it's just, it was so long, and there was so much that you had to do that this could be a 2-part series show. I mean, it's just amazing. But one of the things I did write down is he was an independent power driver, building a promoter, stuntman, and for stuntman shows or something like that. Is that correct?
For me personally,
yeah.
Not really. Not only the Rolling Vengeance stuff. I mean, John Furby was nicknamed the Stuntman, and he did stunts, and he drove for us. Drove the MASH a long time ago. And,
okay.
And he was a family friend, but he was nicknamed the Stuntman. But I didn't do anything other than, when I started announcing, I climbed in the car with the microphone and let him crush me real in the car, clear down, which I wouldn't do. That's pretty stuntman-y type of thing, but I wouldn't do that today.
No.
But, I'm not a stuntman per se. I raced motorcycles as a kid, and I still want to do the veterans class one more time. My little sister has the coolest picture. I was probably 10 years old racing the mini class at our local motocross track. And there's a picture of me on the bike, jean jacket, because we didn't really have race gear back, when I was 10 years old.
Right.
So I think I had a half, and my dad standing next to me with a hand on my shoulder, and I was 10 years old, waiting for me to go out to the moto and race. And I want to reenact that photo so bad and ride, even if it's one lap with the veterans class, and ride that class. But reenact that photo. My dad will be 85 next month, and maybe I do this quick little shout out. any of my local friends or anybody that wants to fly in, we're going to do a big thing for Dad for his 85th birthday out at the casino out at Lummi there. We're renting a big suite and a big room, and got a lot of surprises, big surprises, huge surprises. And for all the kids and all the people that knew my dad or love my dad, we'd love to have you there. Just private message me if you're going to go, so we know how full it's going to be. You know,
Right. Well, the reason why I went after the stuntman deal is, what was the big deal about being dropped from a crane? I thought that was part of like a stuntman show deal that you did. That's where I definitely misread it. But what was all this stuff being dropped by a crane and stuff, dropped from a crane?
Well, it started out as Dave Matthews wanted a gimmick, you know, and everybody, whether people want to admit it or not, back in the late 80s, early 90s, the monster truck stuff wasn't far off from the wrestling. And, you know, there was a lot of mixing going on right there. And so, you know, he was looking for a gimmick. And, you know, back then I had lots of molds. I had the molds to the Muscle Beach and stuff, and the Chevy and the Monster Mash, but they were all that 88 Chevy style. When that came out, we got the mold from Crazy Charlie.
What a guy.
He went and got that. He actually, true story, I don't know, it was in Auctioneer Carrier or wherever he was, he went to test drive a brand new 88 Chevy when they were brand new, and he took it, they duct taped, they did all the seams, they poured, you know, the gel coat resin over it and made a mold, popped it off and took it back. And that's how he got that first 88 Chevy. And he had one body, and then I bought it from him, but I had that mold, and it was pretty special at the time because not a lot of people had them. It was really early, and I love the looks of those Chevys. I still do. And Matthews knew that, and he goes, "Hey, we need a gimmick." And it wasn't, I didn't come up with it. He did. And Dave Matthews said, "Hey, if can you build a truck, and then we'll drop it with a Pelican, a quick release, and drop it down." And the gimmick was that I don't know, we probably had at Salinas probably 25 trucks there. You know, Dave had a big field. The loser of the race got dropped the crane. So I put a deal together, just had an old, you know, it wasn't even a 454. 454s were a lot of money back then. So it's like a 455 turbo 400. I made a transfer case chain drive to drop it down. Low end stuff, just gear lube in the straight shaft, no bearings, had a single roller chain in it, a straight 5-ton in the rear, semi truck front axle we could put the tires on, and I did a cage in there with a built-in gas pedal shifter combo that I could pop out afterwards, and a seat belt, had a kill radio in it, and I just chunked along over the cars, and I forget who, I was ahead of somebody just by a little bit, and I backpedaled a little bit, and then I was the loser, and then we dropped it. And I tell you, it landed so hard on that drop that it actually egg-shaped those wheels and ruined them. I sold them to a guy, and
wow,
and he goes, "Man, those wheels, you know, were egg-shaped." I said, "I'm sorry, you know, I mean, he didn't pay much for them. He wanted to drag them out right after the thing, so it was less stuff for me to drag home. But
right,
it had bent them a little bit."
Oh man, that's 30, 40 feet in the air, right?
No, I was 125 to the hook
on
that. That was the highest one. Then I did one in Hawaii. I was co-promoting. I was too young. I didn't understand the ways of the world. I might have thought I did, but I didn't understand the ways of the world at that point. So I was co-promoter with the show in Hawaii. I got Dennis to come over. Dennis and Julie came over, and then things went awry. You know, we ended up getting the money and the promoter and all the stuff, but we did one there. We didn't go quite as high because let me tell you, man, inside Aloha Stadium, we started yanking that thing up high, and I tell you, those seats look awful close.
Yeah, I bet you so.
I got a bad feeling, you know, and I think we tethered them off there a little bit. It just, you know, you get that feeling in your gut. It just wasn't right, and we backed it down a little bit, but it was still great. And I'd love to talk to the little kid when they shot that video in Hawaii. The little kid about 8 or 10 years old, you know, with all the hang loose Hawaii signs, typical cool Hawaiian kid that got to see that. And, you know, he'd be in his 40s or 50s now. Just wonder what his thoughts were of that night when he was so excited, you know, right there beside it. You know, it was neat stuff. And then the other, I did one out in Lewiston, Idaho, with that show that I used to do all the time, and we put a van up there and dropped it there. But by then, James Barker and the Mud Racer, Double Trouble, wife Mona from Longview, Washington, James was a millwright, and we sat and talked collectively about how to make a better release mechanism, because the ones we had used were commercial, but you get up like in Salinas, it was 125 to the hook, and you got cable to pull it, to snap it, and it didn't pull good. You know, we very rarely got it in Salinas to release. Did the countdown, and it was delayed, and it barely released it. It was close to being a blunder.
Oh,
but
man.
But me and James came up with a long, I don't know if some people would understand it, but it's a mechanical leverage deal. And we put a large roller on it. So you pull the arm and it opens up the bottom as a half round. So it went up about 8 or 10 inches, and then the roller caught the top. So the clevis and the safety that held the truck airborne, you pulled it and then it just flopped down, and down she came. And it was so engineered so well with a long arm, you could pull it just with your finger. You know, you just about the weight of the rope would. Wow. You had to be sensitive, or you'd get a premature setup. No pun on that deal. It was just the opposite of the other one. But we still have that, and James said I could come down and get it, and probably should show that. It was cool. You know, it was our first one we did, and I tell you, it worked great. Collective minds, and probably more James than me, but. Love you, James, if you're listening, and appreciate all the stuff we got to do back then when we were kids. And he was one of the greatest welders back in the day. I swear it can never be true. California kid for Mike West, Longview. I landed and I broke a fitting on one of the nitrogen shocks I had. By then I was with the airplane stuff, and he had oiled things, oily mess. He got some 60-10 rod. I'm not kidding you. And he welded it up, stick welded, oil, sealed up. We charged it back with nitrogen, and it worked.
Wow.
Never thought it would happen. In between rounds, in the dirty, nasty conditions, with stick rod welding over the oil, and it was perfect. We put the oil, put nitrogen, and away I went.
Wow.
On the truck.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. Great guy. James, we love you, man.
You know, and I wish I could tell, and I tried to beat my head against the wall to try to figure out how to do it, but I cannot find exactly how many people are listening, because unless you interact with the show by a comment or a thumbs up, it doesn't show who actually is listening out there. I've had friends that were on the show and say, "Hey man, I listened to the show the other night, it was really good." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see you on there." And I said, "Did you interact at all?" And they said, "No, we never did," and just sat back and listened to it. And I wish there was a way I could figure out how many listeners are really out there, you know, because I always tell everybody, get on and tell your friends about it, make sure everybody tunes in and stuff. But I never do know exactly how many people tune in or something like that.
Huh. Well,
so it's kind of crazy.
And I'm the last person to ask that.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's like one of my big time professional wrestling shows. Whether it's people out there or 110, we're going to do the same way. You know, everybody gets the same treat. I don't backpedal or nothing. You know, we're here to do our job. So I hope everyone's listening.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it's just like 7 months ago, if you would have told me I'd be producing my own show, I would have said, "Well, you're crazy," because I don't know how to do that. But it's all self-taught, you know, and I've learned, and it's been fun. So that's well, you know, Debbie, it does show 6, but that's 6 who's interacted. So I don't know that are viewers that's interactive. Tell them Mike, Denver is listening.
Oh my goodness sakes! Wow. Do you know who Denver is?
You know, Steve Elliott?
No, close. You're close, but no, that's not his nickname. But no, you're in the same wheelhouse with those guys. But I tell you what, you know, if you don't have a lot of listeners, you got some special ones.
Well, that's good, man. I like hearing that.
Denver taking the time to listen to me ramble and talk is you know, right up there with anything. It's the best.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, that's good. Well, thank
Uh,
you for listening. But Mike, even you're at the end of the shows when you were done, you created basically you created freestyle to where the monster truck drivers are taking it and done so much with it. But I mean, you'd run over cars and do this and that, and go over jumps and stuff. You were kind of like the forefather of freestyle.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know what will ever define it. I think a little bit of defining it, and someday, I'll probably find the contract. SRO back in the day, it was I think $750 to come back out and roll it. I had a separate contract. I think the money sounds crazy now, bad, but I think it was $2,500 a piece, 25 for the mash, 25 for the peat, and then $750 to roll the peat afterwards. And if we're going to call that freestyle, I mean, it certainly kind of fits because we had on the cameras and especially the Mickey Thompson stuff by then, but they'd have an X on the ground where they needed me to dump it, and I'd hit it up on two wheels, and they were open diffs, so I'd sit there and spin, and people that got sick of seeing it spin and not tip, oh god, yeah, whatever they'd say. But I'd have to dump it. X marks the spot, so it was. It was just kind of the start of the freestyle, and I think the one of the best compliments I ever got, and he probably doesn't know it, but it always stuck with me back in Hawaii, and a lot of the West Coast guys went to Hawaii, and there was people that came out that got to make the trip out there to get on the boat and go there. Mark Wheeler, he'd come out, and some of the Midwest guys, but Borba tried some purse racing. Well, per round winning. Well, you can imagine how the Super Pete with solid suspension and about 400 horse would do against anybody that had a blower and that. So I stopped and just back up clear to the end of the stadium. And there's some great pictures of clearing 5, 6, 7 cars. First one over, the cars, the station wagons, all those old classic 80s and early 90s stuff, up in the air. And Gary goes, man, yeah, he wasn't even going to race. He wasn't competitive, but he came back to put on a show. And, Gary, if you're listening, I always appreciate that comment. And you've said it for a long time and always had my back. And kind of the same way Don Frankish up there in Canada, he's been a great guy and a handful of Canadian guys up there that, really got this business going and north of the border. And I always feel that it never got quite the recognition they deserve, whether it be in the museum or whatever. I mean, there's smart people everywhere. And I tell you, those farmers from Canada, they were sharp, man. They were sharp. And one of my favorite lines that a fan has ever told me, and it really hits home if you know me well, not so much in the last few years, but early on, we were up there in one of those Canadian towns, and this farmer comes by, and you knew he was a farmer, and he looks at me, and he goes, son, he says, well, it wouldn't really kill you to put a grease gun to those grease bearings on that chain drive. And then they were dry. But of all the things, that's what he noticed and told me. And he did it in a nice way.
Right.
It really wouldn't kill you to put a grease gun to those greasers. You know what they're for? Because I spent more time acid washing everything and washing them down than I did greasing. And those bearings, I never had one seize up, but you could see that they hadn't been freshly greased. That's for sure.
And that's a guy that was taught to take care of his equipment. I mean, I bought a lot of equipment in my lifetime and stuff for around out here and stuff, and that's the first thing I always check is if it's been greased. I mean, I don't know if you're really supposed to do that, but that's the way I was taught, man. You definitely look at it.
You can tell. You can certainly tell.
Guaranteed. Let's see here. What about the first attempt at a backflip? I mean, that's pretty cool, man.
You want the long version or the short version?
Mike, this is your show, buddy. All I am is all I am is the host. That's all I am.
Okay. Well, it's I didn't have anything that I would set in or I would want any of my guys to set in the way that we wanted to do. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with how they're doing it. I'm not saying hitting a container or a special device and coming back into your own tracks is wrong. But I had wanted to see a forward momentum like a motorcycle backflip is what I wanted to see. And there's absolutely no way that I would want anybody sitting in one of my leafers to do that, you know, and just commit and go 30, 40 feet in the air and try to get a full rotation.
Right.
So what I did, and I was spot on, but I had one thing that failed. And I never, for the life of me, would have dreamt that I would have had the failure that I did. And but in the ramp construction, we had the 8-foot normal container and then dirt up to it. And then from that ramp there, we had about I think it was another 4-foot tight radius kicker at the top of the container. And I needed a device, and they make them now, and maybe even the big boys have it, a snap plate. If you see the quads doing it, the side-by-sides doing it, you know, where you hear the snap at the top of the ramp, that lets the front wheels hit it, but it folds down so the bottom comes around on it. And it's a snap plate, and there it's around, but it certainly wasn't around when I did this. So what I did is I took the success of the log and tire to kick the trucks up. I took about a 10 or 12 inch piece of pipe and laid it at the tip of the ramp, and we had it on a chain. So when the front tires hit it, it kicked it up, but then it rolled it off the ramp, and then the back tires just rolled up nice and easy to make the rotation. Everything sounds good, and my education and guessing is that I was at max capacity at what I was going to try. I'd seen it in my mind, but I still didn't want anybody in it to try it. So we had the kill radio, which would shut the truck off. But I was a nervous wreck. This was done live. It wasn't done in the field. This was live down in Tulare in big crowd. So I had the kill radio, you know, to check and done as a Birch unit, and it's reliable, and you know it's going to work. But I also wanted another backup. So what I would do is we had the fuel shut off on a spring, the Morris cable that shuts the fuel. I've always had basically 2 fuel shutoffs. I have one at the 110 pump, and I have a master fuel shutoff at the tank. So if you're up on there's a lot of people with hydraulic stuff. So I always had 2 of those shutoffs on every truck I've built, especially the last 30 years.
Right.
So I had that off the Morris cable. I had a spring pulled on it that it would just snap over, and we timed it. So by the time that spring shut that fuel off, it would run about 5 or 6 seconds and be out of fuel. And 5 or 6 seconds at the bottom of that ramp was enough to do it. So then I had the throttle sprung wide open, and I held it back with a string. We had the truck on the ramp. We had it lined up, ready to go. I'm holding the throttle back. I was much more limber 30 years ago. I could take a 1-2 step real quick as fast as that truck would go anyways. So I held it back. We made sure it was lined up, and we knew the spring fuel timer was there. We had somebody on the kill radio. We knew we were okay, and I let it go. And what was the thing I never would have dreamt that it ever would have done it from the accidents I've seen, accidents with mud boggers that I've been firsthand at. I've never seen one that go wide open and then shut itself down with no help. And a throttle stuck, it stays stuck. And then I had springs on it, so when I let go of it, it was wide open, sprung wide open off the arm up on the hat. And I let it go, and it went up perfect. And right when it needed to lean out and have the power, it snapped itself shut. The blower sucked those springs shut it off, and then it snapped back open, but the timing was off. So it went up, but it would have been spot on perfect. But I never would have dreamt that the blower would have shut the butterflies off, even though there was no cable on it and they were spring loaded open. I never would have dreamt it, but it did.
Wow.
And that's the end of that attempt. So I went way up and bounced and did it, but it never came around because it was half throttle or less.
Oh,
You know?
man, that's crazy.
I never would have dreamt that it would have shut itself back off the spring of the blower. I figured once it's wide open, it just loved the air and it was going to keep coming in wide open.
Sure.
But it shut itself down. But that's the sad story to that whole deal. But we did it. And, you know,
Well,
we did it.
and now look what they're doing today with them, huh? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, let's take just a quick break for a minute, and we need to play this song of yours. Let everybody hear it.
Gotcha. Can I just stay on standby? And,
Yeah,
so we don't have to worry about...
just stay on standby. And
All right. Good.
as I do with all the drivers, guys, I build a song for everybody. And this one here is called Super Pete Thunder. And we'll be right back here, and we'll finish up the show with some more questions with Mike Welsh. We'll talk to you here in just a minute, Mike. This is Super Pete Thunder.
Washington rain, Bellingham sky. nobody had seen. Years before the new age came, Welch was already changing the game. Pirate Pete sailing the monster scene, Lucky Logger and the Grease Monkey Machine, truck builder, driver, promoter too. A whole lot of thunder in what he do. Years rolled on and the wheels kept turning, heavy haul highways and diesel burning. But old school fans still know his name from the Wild West days of monster fame. Hall of Fame lights and a legacy beat, still hear the rumble of Super Pete. Those early nights when the crowds would stand for the wildest driver in Monsterland. Super Pete rolling, hear that thunder sound, big rig monster shaking the ground. 14 feet tall with Detroit heat, nobody looked bigger than Super Pete. From Oregon dust to history's seat, legends still echo down every street. Old school fans still stomp their feet for Mike Welch and Super Pete. Hey, yeah.
There you go, man. Super Pete Thunder right there. A good song for my brother there, Mike. Big Mike Welsh right there, man. So, dude, I got, and I can't remember where it was. It was one of Danny's shows, and you were in there talking to Danny, and you come out and you helped me do a little co-announcing of the show. Where was that at? Was that in Bakersfield or was it up in Medford? Where were we at?
I was thinking that the other day. I want to say, could it have been Fargo, North Dakota?
It might have been it might have been.
I think it was an ice arena, but I'd heard of you, and I don't know why I wanted to do a bit, but maybe I wanted to show him I could talk. I don't know.
No, dude.
But I grabbed it, and I didn't start out to be an announcer by any means. I was pretty shy and just the opposite of what I am today. And I was doing shows, and I tell you, I had an announcer hired to come up and do the show, and we're getting close to showtime, and I said, man, I'm a little nervous. So I called his house, and his wife goes, no, he's not here. And I said, oh, when did he leave? He goes, oh, just a couple of minutes ago. He's just going to the parts store to get some parts for his car. I said, well, it's about 2 hours away. She goes, well, he's not going to no show tonight. And then I started freaking out a little bit, So at that point, Napa was my pre-sale. So I went to Napa, picked up some pre-sale money, and I said, man, I need an announcer, and everybody wants to be an announcer, and everybody wants to do it,
Right.
And one of the parts guys goes, I'll do it. And I said, well, do me a bit, and bless his heart, he was so over the top, in a painful way. It just, it's not Sunday.
No, it's not.
And he was over the top. And I go, well, all right, man, thank you, but no thank you. So I get back to out there to the grounds, and we had an old food guy named Ed Roski, and he did all the West Coast stuff, and then he did for West, and he did a lot of shows, and he did the Portland Rose Garden show and the festival in there. He did, and he had it in Clark County, and he did all the food. So old time guy, great guy. And he goes, Mike, he says, your voice is fine. You know everything about these trucks. He goes, I was still driving full time there. And he goes, let me announce you, and then you announce the rest, and you can do it. So I brought in for intro. By then, Jason Hall was driving, and kind of off and running by then. But he pushed me and said, go do it. And I did it, and I wasn't anything great at that time. It was all heavy technical talk, no filler like I do now. Now I'm 99% fill and jokes and stories and 10% fact, So
yeah,
it was all big block Chevy, alcohol deal, 66 tires, planetaries on 5 tons, the fiberglass body, that's all I did. I didn't say, now it's little Johnny and, man, look at you and this and that. And it's all just different type of performance,
Yeah.
And I thought now I roll some of my comedy stuff into it a little bit, and I think we're finally geared up for Monster Mike to start performing my comedy stuff and legal, along with the Super Pete toy deal and all that finally came through. So like everybody that's made friends in China or where we get these toys done, we've got guys working on that. So we'll have the new the Peterbilt toy and then a couple others too. So I'm finally excited for that. So if I sell out the Super Pete and all these super jumps, I don't know. There's a few big companies looking at all of it, with the right offer, I would just sell it all so they could run the Pete and the Mash and these new super jumps and all this stuff that I have. But who knows where it'll go, just don't know for sure. But I am building it and it will happen. And one way or another, we'll do it again,
Well, that's going to be a cool deal. And I'll tell you what, you need to let me know when you get them toys in, because I want to be one of the first ones to buy some, because I got a good collection of monster truck stuff, but it would be fun to have that in my collection. So you definitely got to let me know.
Yeah, I've been asked for years. I've probably tried to lean towards the wholesale deal. The guys that are doing the shows, they wouldn't have quite the cream on the cake, but they'd at least have a legit product, to add to their stuff they have.
Right,
so,
exactly. That's the truth, man.
Yeah.
So what do you think of what these kids nowadays are doing in these trucks? How do you feel about some of the stunts they're pulling off?
Well, it's incredible, and it's not a secret that that Ryan Anderson is my favorite monster truck driver.
Right.
I love Preston, but the Anderson boys, I love watching what they do, and where I'm really impressed now, and there's so many great ones. I mean, everybody's really taking it 10 times up, but are these high speed, fully committed bicycles that they're doing at speed.
Yeah.
It was one thing to see them do it, and that was cool. But when you come in hot like that and you're committed, there's not many options at the end of that high speed radius of what you can do. And to watch what Ryan does, and I still feel that I'm a little biased, but I still feel he's one of the best at the high speed coming in and then pulling out something magical at the end. And when you're a high-end guy, when you're a superstar driver that people are expecting to see you razzle-dazzle and wah-dom, it's hard sitting in the seat, knowing that you have to deliver something new when you feel that you've done probably the last new thing there was. And now that, people are hungry. They want more. They get bored quickly. They want to see the next thing, and they want it now. They don't want to see it next week. They want it now.
And that's the truth.
But very, very impressed with all of them. I just, I've got 2 broken backs and so many concussions in my necks and all my problems, but I still find it hard to believe that it's just not super painful for them, especially when I see them barrel roll up a little bit, 20 or 30 feet in the air, and they come down on their side. That head restraint and your guts and your stuff and the Hans, I mean, it can only do so much. That's why in the old days of what I did, people made fun of me, but I wore a ski vest, the 1.5, 2 inch thick ski vest,
right,
to help protect. We had the Beard seats and Mastercraft seats, but to protect my ribs in that peat getting slammed down in there, and it made a difference. And I still think that it's got to hurt those guys, but they all say, they use a word that I find hard to believe, but they say pillow soft. And anyone that's driven any older monster truck, that's the last thing you think of is pillow soft. And the only thing I can say for sure that looks pillow soft is David Tucker's independent truck. That one looks pillow soft to me.
Right.
But, the others, they're getting it, and Kurt Dabney kind of said it the way it made some sense to me on shocks. He says it's how quick you can shove that shaft in there on shaft travel. And if you watch the desert race, what they move that shock up on the arm a little bit. So they're getting the shock travel, but they're getting it moved up. So they're picking up half again as much travel out at the end of the wheel where the wheel is on the arm. So that's what's working for them. But, the shocks are amazing, the valving and what they do. But from what everybody says, they're not that much further off from what we had back in the day. The guys are just dropping them further from the sky and forcing them to work better. I've heard that from a lot of guys, and I wonder, how much of the truth to that there is,
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Well, I tell you what, we haven't talked about the Hall of Fame yet. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame. What's that mean to you?
Well, it's like I said the night that I got the award. It was amazing. Who would have ever dreamt and forks together on a chopper bicycle that I'd be honored in such a way? I just did what I loved. Always tried to put on a great show. Did everything that I ever dreamt of building, and I got in. I think there's a lot of guys that deserve to be there, but we can talk till the sun comes up of who and why and when and this and that and on and on and on of the folks that aren't there. So let's be thankful for the ones that are there now. But, it was wonderful. It was just great. It was just what an honor. I wish my mother was alive to have seen it.
Yeah.
She was a big part of it, as a kid, showing me that throttle timing on the old Polara, how to burn those tires,
That's the truth, man.
Wish she could have seen it, but like I said the night that I got it, and I talked about it in my speech, it wasn't just about me, man. It was about all of us that were in that era. And, and there's a handful more that are just, that should be in there, but it's a big old country and a big old world, and hopefully they'll make it in. But hopefully I've represented everyone well, my fellow racers and friends, that we all battled the same battles in the 80s, and we all came from basically the same mold. And that mold that we came from wasn't a money mold. It was heart and desire and drive. When anybody with a logical mind said that us kids were just goofballs, what in the world are you doing? Do something else with your life. Don't do it. And now that I'm 62, I'll be 63 in September. I'm glad I got to do what I did, because you don't start living those dreams at 60, you try to do them in your 30s or 20s,
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to do it. I'm very thankful that we're having this conversation, that right now, that old Michael Welch means something to somebody, that they'd want to hear me ramble and talk about my stories, because there's a lot funnier people in the world. There's a lot more people that have more talent and stories to tell that never get to do it, and
Right.
I've just been put in a great place, and man, my life is just really great right now. I'm at a peace, and my dad's doing good, and what a gift to have an 85-year-old dad that's active and still supports me. We're dreamers, we dream and dream and dream, and I wouldn't be a dreamer the way I am if I didn't have a dad that was just as much of a dreamer, that just wants to keep doing stuff, and even stuff, and that's me, man.
Right.
And
Well, there's a young man on here named Willis Matheson. Says Uncle
Yeah.
Mike is the best, hands down, one of the best guys in the industry. He has always made time for me, to lend his advice, go out of his way to help me with my dreams as well. And he says he loves you, Mike.
Well, I love him too, and he's kind of one of those three kids. There was Dallas, the announcer, Glenn.
Yeah.
Rogers. He's
kid.
a great kid. Preston and Willis. They were the three kids in that little group. and I always prayed that they would all succeed in life, and they really have. And don't fool yourself about Willis. He's a world-class rock star, and he's traveled the world playing his drums and going all around the world. And I always worried about him because, you know, rock stars and people around the world, things happen. You know, it's not all Bible verses and Sunday school teachers around the world.
Well, that's the truth.
Country, and he's come home safely, and he's done that a long time. So he's a great kid, man.
Yeah.
But all these kids are that I've got to, you know, I've just tried to let them know it's okay to live their dreams. You know, some didn't have supportive parents, some didn't even have parents. A lot of these kids, you know, and at the end, what does it really matter if you're happy, you're not hurting anybody, and you love your life, and you're there to help other people, man? That's what it's all about, you know, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know, you talk about Dallas, and Dallas came on tour with us, and he was working at a grocery store, and he used to always tell me, well, Roller, you know, I get on there and I do the announcements for right now we've got chicken tenders for $2.99 over in aisle. And he started doing this, and I was like, wow, this kid's got a voice. And I told him, I said, Dallas, I said, you need to be an announcer of a show. Oh, Roller, I cannot do stuff like that. I wouldn't be. I said, no, man, you really do. And, you know, he took my advice, and he's doing one hell of a job now. And I am so proud of what he has accomplished, you know, and he'll call up every once in a while. He goes, you know, I got it all thanks to you. And no, it's not, man. You took the ball. You just took my advice, but you created Dallas the announcer, and he's done a fantastic job for Bill Payne.
Oh yeah,
and he's an amazing kid. He's got his own truck. You know, I couldn't be more prouder of a young man than I am of Dallas. I'll guarantee you that right now.
Next time I talk to him, I'm going to tell him he was cheating on me with you, because I don't know if he kind of word for word. But he did a bit. He called my answer machine when I used to answer my messages.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows I give up on that years ago. So he did a bit for me, and I said, "You got it. Don't let anybody tell you don't. You got it."
Yeah.
And then I had him come up to one of my shows in Bellingham and announce for me. I don't know if that was his first one. He says it was his first one that I gave him a shot at announcing, and but maybe he's just telling me that. But because he moves around a little bit, but he's a good kid, and I believed it was his first time. And I said, "You stick with it. You got it in the bag." And he does, man. When I see him at different shows, he was up at Wallace Chuck Steel, I think, up in Canada a while back, a month or two ago. I seen a bit on there, and here he is, in my opinion, one of the greatest announcers ever.
I think so.
He's driving his monster truck, or one of Billy's trucks, or whatever it is. So the announcer's playing along there, you know. Here he's just being like a normal driver, but he's got the voice and he's got the talent to steal the show at any second. You know, he can grab the mic and run with it. And it was just funny to see him, in my opinion, one of the greatest announcers ever, and just playing it low key in it, you know, for being part of the show. But he's really, really good. He's great. He mixes the new generation stuff. And I knew when there was a passing of the torch in what I could do. I have my style and my big hype and my chants and my words, I do. But when I watch him, and you know, this was a few years ago, but when I watch him relate so well with the little kids, excuse me, and they wanted to do a dance-off, and he's got the kids dancing, and he's dancing with the kids.
Yep.
It's to a different level that I had never seen. And I knew that he was going to be fine, and the sport was in good hands for the next generation of announcers and entertainers on the floor. Yeah. And, you know, it's incredible. And if we're going to talk freely about everything, I tell you, Zentilli, those guys, the kid from Portland, he's an announcer kid too that's grabbing things with Hot Wheels. And Zen's just a great kid. He's done well. But the new style announcers, it's a tough gig, man.
It is.
The Hot Wheels deal, man, they are busy and they're earning their dough, man. It's quite an interaction deal, you know. And that kid's done great. And met him, and I said, man, you should do it. And he's picked up a lot of slack in the last year or two. It's amazing the momentum he's got. So,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
these young kids are doing great.
Yeah.
You know, Mark Werner, I don't know if you know Mark, a friend from the internet. He's been in the Hall of Fame and stuff. I don't know if you recognize the name or not.
I do.
He's great. He does a great job, and I'm always proud of him. You know, he's in the Midwest back there. You know, so just what a great life. What such great friends. You know, I think of great friends. I think of Bergsy. And his kids, and I went back and helped him with his 4th of July show back there in New Hampshire, and Jeffrey Fielding, and the guys that I just didn't get to meet, because we're out here, we're in the West. So
Sure.
I went out there and just what a wonderful collected family of friends and like-minded people,
Right.
for the most part. It's nice. And even though I'm alone and, never married or no kids and that, I'm trucking out, a lot by myself, but I'm never truly alone. I'm not lonely. I have friends that think about, and my headset's messed up now. I got a new headset. It's supposed to be new and improved, and all it is background noise. So I can't talk to anybody on the headset very well. They can't hear me. But we used to talk a lot,
Yeah.
back in the day, the Steve Elliott's in Denver, they'd call and we'd chit chat a lot. They don't call as much anymore. Maybe the headset or maybe it's something else. But that just guys all over, man. Friends everywhere. It's sweet.
Well, and it's nice to be able to have those friends. It's nice to get those calls when you're not expecting one, and it's from a long time friend or something. And you're like, damn, it's so good to hear from you, man. It really is.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It means a lot.
Yeah. Mike Hedman's on here, and he says, hey, Mike, your new Uber car has air conditioning, seats, and lots of room. So the next time you're in town for pizza and pasta.
Yeah, he knows all the good spots, man. They're all around Chicago there. It's great. Hedman's another Facebook friendship that's turned into a great friendship, and anytime we're back there, we hang out, and he's always around the industry wherever it is. There's an event.
Yeah. Did you see the poster that he made announcing us for the show?
Yeah, he did a great job. I was puzzled there for a second, and I thought, well, man, I kind of look like with my reading glasses on that was me. And then I realized, well, no, that's you.
Right.
I said, I'm the other guy.
Yeah.
But the other guy didn't even look other than all the hair. I go, well, how did the AI get a picture of me with my reading glasses? Now, there's not many of those pictures that exist. unless it's snagged in on my phone with the camera the wrong way. They say they can see what you're doing and watch it. I go, oh, boy, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, baby.
Right. Yeah, I commented to him. I said, I wish I had that much hair on my head. I said, that would be a grateful. And I said, you kind of made me look like a Kurt Russell or something like that. I said, I'm really kind of flattered. But it was really cool. But I seen it on the page, and I was like, well, damn, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, he's quick with that. He enjoys it. He's got a knack for that because he whips them out quick. Because I think I seen him make a comment because I kind of rambled on my deal, right? And the next thing he messaged me, and I bet you he whipped that thing out in 15 minutes. And he goes, what do you think? I said, man, it's great. Thank you for making us all look so good.
No shit. That's star looks, man, for me. And I'm a homely guy. I'm homelier than a mud fence, man. And I had TV star qualities in that photo. I guess I'm going to have to send him a check or something, man, because he made me look good.
Yeah, he does. He's handy with that stuff. He really is.
Guaranteed.
I've seen many samples that he's done, and it's always nice. And thank you, Mike, for that, and I look forward to seeing you when I get back there. I'm going to get back that way again, but
right.
I got to get back out to Texas, grab my truck out there, but I don't know if I'm going to fly in. I might just get a rental car and mosey on that way. The airports are a little crazy. At least the last time I was in one, so I don't think they've got better.
They are crazy. But, I guess the last question of the evening, Mike, is what do you want to be remembered for in the monster truck world?
Well, I was the one to try different things. I thought outside the box, that I was fair to everybody. I tried my very best, and then I would do whatever I could for anybody at any time, and that's kind of the same as in life. But it's nice to be appreciated. Let's ask that question when these last 3 experiments are done, and then we'll see. We all have dreams of finishing in a good spot. You don't want to necessarily stay the top spot, but at least for the creativity and something new, I think I've done enough that have proven that I was forward thinking 25 years ago on what trucks could do. And we'll see if this new apparatus and patented deal can work. And it would be nice to say that I came up and hit another one out of the park for the freestyle portion of the world, and then it can go on from there and help me financially for my final chapters in life, and then carry on for something exciting for the fans, young and old, to be part of and see what I created that's been in my mind for 20 or 30 years. So.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I don't know if that answers enough of it.
And it did, and it's fair. And we will have you back on the show again, and we will talk about how well everything did perform, and get you back. So I know you're a very busy man, and I know that I pestered the shit out of you to get you on the show.
It's what it takes.
Yeah.
and even my friends know that I need a little. If there was ever anything, and not that I'm some great superstar, but if there was ever a term, a handler, Mike Welsh needs a handler. And, I got so much going on, and and then I checked my phone. I knew we had a few minutes, and Hedman and a few other guys. Hey man, are you ready? Are you going? Yeah, I'm here. And then I called, and because we didn't really talk how much on standby I needed to be before, and I was busy here, and I've been fighting this tire, and I was told that the 72-hour blitz started today for DOT nationwide. So if anyone knows if that's fact tonight, private message me if they started at midnight last night. Somebody said that they'd started that 72-hour blitz, and just always like to be invited to the party. You know what I mean? So,
well,
let's just say tonight, when I get around home, I'm going to take an extended 34-hour restart for my logbook.
There you go,
and
man.
Polish the aluminum in the driveway for a day or two.
I've been there and I've done that before, buddy. I know all about the logbooks, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So, well, dude, I'll tell you what, man. It was an honor talking to you.
Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem, man. And I'm not afraid to say it, man. I love you like a brother, man. I think you just have done so much for the industry, and I thank you for it, man. I really do, and I love the stories and the different things, and you're always welcome back on this show.
Well, thank you. You get a craziness deal or you get a misfire or something, just give me a call, because for the most part I can pull over and ramble a little bit, and we don't have to even go as extreme. You want to mix it up with a few guys and you get in a little jam where you want 10 minutes of material, I can do a little bit. So,
well, I hope we can do another show together again. That would be fun. So I would like to be able to do that again with you. So, but anyway, you be safe out there on that road, my brother. And, I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. And thanks for my friends and new friends that might be listening that I've never met. And you guys have a great night. I love you all.
God bless you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go, guys. That was another good one. I met that guy, like I said, a long time ago. Our paths didn't cross very much, but he always treated me well at any show that we were at, and it was a process getting him tied down to doing something, and he finally said, well, I think I got time. We're going to do it. And then he said, well, I got a deal with the police that I got to do a heavy haul. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. And I just said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you down. And if you can do it, you're going to do it. If you can't, then we're gonna run with it and make this happen. And Mike, I appreciate your help in everything you do. Thank you for always listening. Thank you for the comment of the awesome show. It's just, I want to bring my life into you guys' life, because I have met so many interesting people out there, man. And it's just a part of my life that I love and that I get to talk about, and people like to listen because there's so many good stories. If we could only tell you all the stories, that's all I can say about that. But like I said, we got another good show coming up on Wednesday, and that will be with Chad Lamb. He'll be the young gun auctioneer. And then, of course, Dr. Danger, man. This guy has done some crazy stuff in his life with stunts and setting himself on fire and jumping cars into two buses stacked end to end on top of each other. And, I mean, you name it, and this man's done it. He's been life-flighted to hospitals and stuff. I mean, it's just, being a stunt man is crazy. It really is, and especially when you're trying to do the stunts that Dr. Danger does. So that's going to be a really good show. And then mark the 17th down, if you guys would, please, of this month, which is Friday. We're going to be hanging out and talking with Robert Haas, B.J. Johnson, Kevin King, Lindsey Johnson. They're all going to be down there at Robert's compound after his show. And Robert's a big mud truck guy, and he's got some monster trucks, and BJ and Kevin King are going to go down there and drive them and stuff. And we really look forward to that interview. So that's going to be a good one. It's a special one because Robert asked me if I could do a special one on a Friday for him because of his show, and everybody was down there. And I thought, you know what, I'd be stupid not to. So I will look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday, and then on Friday again this week. But we're going to stick around here, and we're going to play a couple more songs, and we're going to just finish up the night, man. And I appreciate everybody. If you have to go, I understand. God bless you. Be safe out there in anything that you do, and keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. That's all I can tell you guys. So this next song right here, of course, I got to do a quick commercial for my buddy Justin Goulet for Trucks and Screwdrivers. So we're going to hit our sponsors right fast, and then we'll be back here with just a few more songs with Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music.
Trucks and screwdrivers.
Where the rides roll round. Saturday morning, engines start to roar. Hot rods pulling up door to door at the Black Eyed Pea lot. Chrome and horsepower heating up the spot. Justin Goulet runs the show, welcoming every ride that rolls. From C10 trucks to muscle cars, collector cars,
the classics rolling by. In store, engines talking while friends all meet. Hot rods gathered at the P2E. Trucks and screwdrivers, don't be late. Saturday morning, celebrate 9 to noon where the engines roar at the Black Eyed Pea and Castle Rock for sure. Trucks and screwdrivers, join the ride. Classic cars parked side by side. Coffee, chrome, and engines run. Castle Rock fun for everyone. Woo!
Oh, okay, there you go, guys. Carter, to answer your question, yes, I wrote a note, and I will do that for you. And Scott Anderson, if you're still on here, I've tried to call you on the number that you gave me, but it always comes up as a busy signal. I don't know how to get a hold of you because I definitely got to get you on the show, man. So if there's another number you can give me, just PM me that number. And we'll definitely try to set something up, brother, because it's been a long time since we've talked. But no, guys, let's see here. Let's go ahead and we're going to finish up the Titans of the Dirt because Mike called right in the middle of it. So once again, here is the song called Titans of the Dirt. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
like every monster truck fan would hear. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on tight. Welcome to Heaven's Monster Truck Night! Lloyd Massey on the microphone, calling legends from the throne. Every jump the angels stand for the heroes of the land. Hear the engines roar again, legends riding through the wind. Thunder shaking heaven's land, steel and power hand in hand. Titans of the dark collide on the sacred mountainside. And when the final flag descends, damn runt stands above the legends. Champion of heaven's
There you go, guys. Titans of the Dirt right there on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. We're going to finish up with one last song right here. I didn't realize what it was on. We started a little bit earlier tonight, and then we had some hiccups, so we've been on for quite a while. I appreciate you guys hanging with me and coming back after the glitches. But anyway, hey, if we don't have a few mess-ups every once in a while, we're not doing something right. So this last song here is called The Train, and then we'll play it, and then we will go into our intro, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and then don't forget Friday night too. So 2 more shows to come this week for Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. On behalf of everybody here in the studio, oh wait, everybody's gone, it's just me. Oh, it's always just me. I love you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and supporting this crazy old man's dream. We'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.
I've been collecting old memories since I was just a boy, spending every spare dollar on some forgotten toy. From the 1800s tin soldiers to the toys of yesterday, Hot wheel cars and old Tonka trucks, old dolls packed away. But one day at a little sale in a dusty country town, I found a wooden train set in a weathered cardboard brown. But when I opened up the box, a note fell on the floor. There was something written on that page that made me love it even more. It was a note from a little boy named Jimmy, written in a shaky hand. Said this train set was his favorite toy, given to him by his dad, in a world he couldn't understand. He said, I've got something I don't understand called cancer, and it's taken life away from me. But this train makes me happy every single day. He wrote, I'll play with it till the day I go, then I'll tuck this note inside, so whoever finds my train one day will know how much I tried to stay. And if you're the one who finds it, I hope this train brings joy to you, the way it always did
from me when my skies weren't always blue. I hope you get to live a long life, playing with it day by day, and think about a little boy who loved these rails this way. It was a note from a little boy named Jimmy, written in a trembling hand. Said this train set was his favorite toy, given to him by his dad, in a world he couldn't understand. He said, I've got something I don't understand called cancer, and it's taken life away from me. But this train makes me happy every single day. I sat there in that quiet room with tears running down my face, thinking about that little boy and the fight he had to face. I knew right then and there was one thing I couldn't do. I could never sell that train set after what that boy went through. So now it sits inside my home, on a shelf where I can see not just a toy train anymore, but a piece of bravery. That note from a little boy named Jimmy still rests inside that train. Reminds me every single day, love outlives the pain. And that little wooden railroad runs forever in my mind, a tribute to a brave young soul who left his train set and a note behind. But that little boy named Jimmy still rides those rails today.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.